to the game here and take a look at our teams. Okay, this is going to be an interesting mix-up as well. oRNG Logo seems to have some different members in there today, with different people missing. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go over the red team first, then Kthx is going to go over the blue team. So let's go first of all to Frostball. Obviously, oRNG Logo don't play with Mesmer. Frostball does come into this team though. oRNG Loganeers are the guys who do normally, kind of their scrim partners. So we're going to first of all, there will be a couple of change-ups. Obviously, Frostball going to be the first one. He's going to be running with that pack rune instead of Vamp, with the Greatsword and the Sword Offhand Torch there, of course. Just double check that while I go, just mouse over there. Typical usual build here, going for obviously Blinding Dissipation and one, as well as Deceptive Evasion. PU he's got as well, so PU but Marauder Mesmer there for you. Syndronic should probably play in Shadow Arts DP Thief there as well. Just double check Vamp rune as well. Here's what he's running today. Curve going to be going Dagger Celestial Elementalist here as well. He's going to be the Fire Ellie on this team. No Earth Ellie. We haven't seen really many Earth Ellies actually over here in EU for a while. And then of course we've got Tage, who's not playing. I was about to say who's of course playing Bunker Guardian, but he's not. He's playing the Burn Guardian, of course. Very kind of slow in its movement around the map, but very effective in its burn damage. We know how painful conditions are, and we're probably going to get a lot of talk about burning condition in chat in about a minute or so when that actually goes through. We're just waiting for the last person to come in. It will be Rom, normally playing on probably Hammer Greatsword Warrior, or maybe Shoutbow Warrior as well, different variations with Warhorn or Shield. So Kthx, if you want to go through the blue team for us, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I'll start off here with Wayward Oracle. This is going to be the Mesmer for this TCG team here, and he's going to be playing Greatsword, Sword, Torch with the Rune of Vampirism as opposed to that pack rune that we saw Frostball picking up. Berserker Amulet, of course, with the Domination, Dueling, and Chaos Tree running with that PU. So, I mean, I'm actually kind of more of a fan of Vampirism right now with this particular spec. Reason being, you get that decoy 25%, get the Vamp runes, and it can save you a lot of times, but obviously it is kind of gimmicky, you know, so definitely like to see the pack coming out from Frostball. That's definitely pretty interesting. Next up, we do have Red Levin. He's going to be playing Thief for this team here. He's going to be picking up the short bow, Dagger Pistol with Rune of the Vampirism as well, Marauder Amulet, of course, going for Deadly Arts, Trickery, and Shadow Arts here with that triple Deception and the utilities. Next, we do have Mancow. He's going to be picking up Dagger Elementalist with Rune of the Vampirism as well, Celestial Amulet, running that Blinding Ashes variant, Fire, Water, and Arcane. And finally, we do have Cole Summers going to be picking up Ranger, actually going to be playing Longbow, Sword, Dagger here with Root of the Vampirism there, Marauder Amulet. I saw Crate for a second, then he swapped right over to that Vampirism. Yeah, definitely. He's going to be taking up Wilderness, Survival, Nature Magic, and Beast Mastery. One of the builds that actually a lot of people have been picking up quite a bit in NA. Of course, I'm from NA, so I can draw from that a lot more. But this is like definitely more a defensive option. Pretty strong in 1v1s with that taunt. It's definitely good at taking out Mesmers as well. So people definitely need to watch out for this one. Of course, next we do have the last player here from TCG is going to be Lipian, and he's going to be playing Sword, Warhorn with the longbow, so the old Shoutbow. But he's going to be taking up Settler Amulet, of course, with Rune of Soldier, and that's obviously going to be Tactics, Discipline, and Defense for his setup there.
Awesome. So just as a double reminder to everyone, we're seeing Levin, we're seeing different members from, well, just really Levin from, and Lipion, of course, from TCG, but this is rank 55 Dragons versus oRNG Logo, so obviously a little bit of a split up there. There's no bad blood or anything. TCG are in this tournament today as well, so we'll have a look at the final lineup when we get to them. Inevitably, we will be streaming that game as well. Just waiting for Rom to get his butt into the game, of course. We have German, Chinese and French casts, as well as the English going on today. So we have 4 casts going on today, guys. So you are very welcome in the channel as well. We hope you're enjoying yourself already. Hopefully a bit more so when we start to get oRNG Logo actually on the team. Would be actually brilliant. But in terms of these teams, I'm not sure if you've seen rank 55. They played last week on our Go4 and they did pretty well, of course. The split from TCG feels like you know, just to remind you guys as well, Wayward Oracle should be Misha from the original 55 HP Monks, rank 55 Dragons as well, of course. But there's this kind of amalgamation of this awesome 5-man team, which isn't actually Cole Summers. Cole Summers isn't normally in here. It would be Big Zan, who would be normally in here as well. So they've got the, the mix-up of the Ranger instead of the Engineer. They've not got that potential lockdown that we see, the combination in EU. Normally we see the push of the Thief, the Engineer and the Mesmer, and instead it's going to be maybe the Ranger here. So I'm not sure whether or not they'd put them in that combination or if it would be that effective. But we'll have to wait and see. So as like a guy who obviously is casting NA more than EU, and it's the same for me when I go to NA as well, what do you think of these comps that we're running over here?
This is actually stuff that we've seen before, with the exception of the Ranger, which I honestly don't think is, at least, I mean, I could be wrong, so correct me, but I think that the Ranger is just kind of something that's very significant, kind of just this team doing, just kind of Cole Summers doing. I don't really see Ranger a lot in the EU either, but
right.
Apart from that, everything is pretty straightforward, and it's kind of all stuff that everyone's been doing. Of course, WTS just happening, so a lot of the builds have kind of been thrown together and everything. We're kind of seeing the Xiaopo come back through EU. NA doesn't really pick it up all that much, at least not yet, so it's interesting to see that kind of come back, what with everybody going towards the DPS build after Tarsus and ROM have started using it right after the patch.
Yeah, I remember casting NA, and Tarsus was like one of the guys that I was watching. I was just thinking, man, these guys, I love that build. Like, it's a personal favorite of mine, but unfortunately it's just so squishy nowadays. We can actually have a quick look at ROM and see what he is going to be running here. He's gone for Xiaopo, but he's gone Celestial, so old school there as well, with the Celestial Amulet instead of that Settlers. So he's got all-round stats rather than just the ones that come with that Settler Amulet, of course, as well. So we have to see which one pays off, but he's actually going for Rampage rather than the Banner here. Whether or not he's going to change that up is another thing. I would have thought that maybe the Banner would have been the more logical choice, but of course, he's got a lot of sustain, he's got more HP and healing through that Signet as well. So maybe he'll stick with the Rampage. We'll have to wait.
Yeah, I think that's the main reason why he's sticking with Celestial, so he can keep some of those offensive stats going towards using that Rampage. I mean, it wouldn't be ROM if not with the Rampage, that's
so true.
Yeah,
so true.
Someone that's watching from afar, you kind of get the feeling that it wouldn't really be the same. So definitely interesting to see him go with the Rampage as opposed to the War Banner, and that will kind of be the biggest difference between him and Lippian, of course, as well as the Amulet decision as well. But definitely really looking forward to seeing if this build will actually prove to be effective for them, because a lot of warriors have decided, ROM especially actually was one of those warriors that said the Xiaopo is not as good anymore, and DPS is pretty much the only way to go for warrior. So it's interesting to see it kind of come back, what with the sword shield here. He is going to swap to the War Banner now. He did swap it there,
and to select Settlers as well.
Yep.
And to shield. So, I mean, just then I was assuming when he was shield and he was in Rampage and with Celestial, I would have thought that would have been, it could have been like a 1v1 build on point. So that actually would have been quite a nice idea as well. But they've not got as much support as they would usually have. Tage playing Bird Guardian. But anyway, Herix, if you want to take us through the splits in this first game, that would be awesome. ESL Go4 Cup, number 43 orange logo versus 55 ranked Dragons.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to be seeing a 1-1-3 split here from this blue team here, and we're going to be seeing actually a pretty, not really sure what's happening on this red team side. We're going to be seeing ROM go up towards mid, we're going to be seeing Curve assault that far point, and we're actually going to be seeing Tage kind of wait to see if he needs to actually go in on the point. He's kind of just making sure he doesn't get ganked out, because he knows that Levin there is with that Mesmer, and he's just basically waiting. But we're going to have a pretty big team fight actually onto this midpoint, where already we can see Lippian at about 25% HP to 5 pain does come out, and he's still in a really bad spot. Forced to run off the point here, and he's getting immobilized in midair as well, and he might actually be chased down and killed.
Yeah, he's just got to be careful here. He's going to be taken out in the end by the combination of Syndroneer and also Frostball, as we see the shatter coming out onto him. No one's really in range. We see Mancow is kind of thinking about trying to go for that res, but he doesn't want to go for it as of yet. It's not going to be beneficial to his team. He's just going to have to sustain over here as well. Misha's dropped that portal as well towards the mine as well. If I just double check, that is his portal, so I'm not actually talking out my you-know-whats, but we've got two portals up from both teams at the moment. Frostball does come back through his as well over towards this mine, so they can potentially finish off Mancal quite quickly here as he brings the rest of the team through, and they take him down quite quickly, putting him into that Vamp Rune proc, but he's going to die on node. And we are going to see oRNG Logo picking up 2 side points at the moment.
That was actually a really clutch usage of that portal there. Rom came through it, went and got the immobilize off on Mancow, and just went right back through over to the mid fight. Basically solidified the kill on Mancow by shutting him down, and then went right back to the mid fight to get some support. And now, you know, because of that, Cole Summers is in the downstate here as Syndrunner and Tage took him out. Looks like the stomp is going to be solidified there, so he's going to drop out. And already we're seeing oRNG Logo really just do quite a good job so far, and it looks like they're pretty much setting up to go 500-21 at this stage.
Well, I mean, at the moment, very much the way they play with Mesmer, they don't really play with Mesmer that much, you know. They have played with Frostball before, so that's quite beneficial. Again, using the Shadow Refuge, but they seem kind of solid as a team. Like, they know each other's playstyles pretty well. They scrim a lot against each other, so really, they're actually doing quite a good job here. We're going to see the Mesmer going down here over towards the Henge, though. We are going to see able to get him back up in the end as well, as we see the stealth out and the split up from the rest of the members. Cole Summers is going to be in a little bit of trouble, as well as Misha here, who goes into the downstate just on top of the portal. Are we going to see a res coming out from Red Levin at all? Oh no, he's stuck there through the portal. Yes, went down to go for the res, but he's got stuck with the portal, of course, as well, which I think is why you laughed a little. But it's Syndrunner not able to get the cleaver. Frostball getting res as well towards that Henge node as well. As we see the 2-point cap coming in. Still nothing really from 55 HP Monks. Just as I say that, we see the movement of 2 members going over towards mid. Rom, now more sustainable, but still, you know, can be bursted down quite successfully, but not as much so if he was in that Hammer Greatsword build, of course.
This is actually a great set of rotations here from this blue team rank 55 Dragons. I mean, they managed to get the full cap over on mine. They forced Rom off the point at mid, where they're actually going to get that full cap as well. So they're able to basically freebie turn this one around. They need to be careful, though, because having this Thief in a 1v1 versus Curve, he's going to have to really kind of sustain for quite some time against an Elementalist, and that's definitely really hard to do. But in the meantime, we are going to be seeing Red Team basically clear out rank 55 Dragons here from the hitch point, so they're going to be able to turn this one right back around and maybe make a push over to the keep, where we're already seeing Tage and Rom in a 2v1 versus Lipian, and we're actually going to be seeing a +1 as well from Frostball, and they've already forced him off the point, so they're going to be able to turn this back around. This is probably going to be a 2-cap in favor of oRNG Logo here in just a matter of time, and we're seeing actually Curve do quite a good job holding both the Thief and the Mesmer over on the mine point as well. So great reactions from this team, oRNG Logo. Yeah,
Curve is pretty much like, he's one of the best Ellies in EU in my opinion. Like, he doesn't get as much face time in tournaments as I would like, to be honest. And also with that combination of Misha and Red Levin, who are normally sticking together, like they'll split up across the map and they'll come back together for these kind of high impact plays in the burst, which is very, very effective, but not able to get Curve down there as well over on that point, which is what you just said as well. So having a look at Tage now, he's very low HP. As soon as his burst comes out and his survival, we are going to see a potential res coming out though. Curve comes in and we also see the Shadow Refuge. Tage back up. He's still got a lot of cooldowns down. We're just waiting for him to come back into this fight here. He's just standing on the edge, being very patient. He does have sword there as well, so he's got some defense in terms of that third ability, of course. So waiting for Red Levin to come out. Red Levin is just standing on the side.
What a good play by Syndrunner here, coming over to the mine actually. He's going to get that freebie decap as well, and they already have the 2-cap and already a pretty good lead too. They're holding that mid fight, although Rom is in the down state. Looks like there's a ton of cleave on top of it as well. Curve forced off, so they're unfortunately going to lose the mid fight, but they still are going to make sure to get both of those side caps, and they're going to hold on to those. Actually, though, Cole Summers going in for that decap, manages to get it before Frostball actually he's not able to even get on the point there. Taunt comes out as well, and Frostball's at 50% already.
Yeah, he's got stealth up as well. He's going to try and come out with some damage of his own and answer the call from Cole Summers to try and get this decap here over on this, recap here over on this node with the assistance from team members. He's going to get the Elementalist assistance as well from Curve. These guys play together a hell of a lot, so obviously that's a good team matchup for those guys as well. Cole Summers assisted by Misha, as Misha is probably trying to hunt down Frostball and just make sure he's going to be able to take him out. But they're going to pull back to mid actually. Misha goes back through with Cole Summers, but Misha actually goes back through the portal to assist in the cleaning up of Curve here, but Rom does a good rotation to sustain that side point over on the Henge. Things still very close on this first map in the ESL Guild Wars 2 Go4 Cup number 43 between oRNG Logo and rank 55 Dragons, of course, but we might see some contestation here over on the mine as well.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to be seeing Cole Summers already get blasted here by Frostball, who set up a ton of damage there. Looks like he tried to go for the finish, but and that's going to be right now. However, the Signet Stone does come out, so Cole Summers is going to be alive for the time being, but that's going to fade very, very soon as Frostball is going to try to go in for it. Tage in the area as well, so that's definitely going to be a solidified defense there with Cole Summers probably going into downstate as Rom's in the area as well. However, in the meantime, we're seeing Mancow go down as well here over on the Hinge node. He was taken out by Syndrenner as well as Curve here. He's going to be stomped out. They're going to manage to get that Hinge back into their favor and potentially even control this fight over on the mine, where Cole Summers is still really low. However, they need to be careful because Frostball actually got countered pretty hard as well. Looks like he almost went down there, but saved it with the heal. Still has his invis as well. Red Levin in the meantime was taken out, so he's in downstate right now. They need to be careful. Tage going for that stomp, probably going to get it there. No one really even close by. Doesn't look like Cole Summers is in a position where he can kind of set anything up.
That's not a great place, but the thing is, we did see Misha up top there as well, in a great position to potentially take Frostball out unawares. I can see potential damage coming out onto him, although they can re-push onto Cole Summers here, who is trying to get away, and the Vamp form comes out as well as he tries to make his distance. Conditions are coming onto him as well. He needs some kind of cleanse. We are going to see Blue Team rallying around him, but Frostball as well, as he goes in for the kill, gets shattered on himself by Misha there as well, but Cole Summers will go into the downstate. Frostball just barely escaping here. We're not going to see anyone else coming in from the side to try and assist with that, or you can see Portal coming out as well. Not too bad from these guys. We are going to see decap coming out from Misha. Cole Summers able to escape both through that portal as well. So big play coming out from Blue Team, and actual pressure from them as well over on the Henge, where oRNG Logo are kind of distracted at the moment.
Yeah, you just don't get to see clutch portal plays like this as much in NA, so it's really exciting to watch Misha play here, getting those portals and saving his teammate there. I mean, that was so clutch, getting him out there, getting that free cap over on the mine, and they're going to be able to get back over to the midpoint, and they really need to go quick because Lipian right here is actually getting stomped out, so now it's just Misha who's at about 10% HP. They're definitely going to have to pull out of this one and kind of resituate. We're seeing still a 1v1 between the two elementalists over on the Hinge point. We're seeing Red Team
+2 on the Henge now. They stealthed out. They got out of that situation brilliantly. Like you said, they needed to get out. They did. And now they're going to +2 versus Curve. They're going to get the quick kill on the Elementalist, which is going to be really good, especially versus oRNG Logo here, because they don't have much support. They've got Rom as well, of course, but they don't have a Bunker Guardian or another Elementalist. They've got pure damage, of course, coming from the rest of the guys. So they want to try and take him out. But look at Curve being such a boss. Around this point as well, it's so difficult to pick out the Elementalist because there's so many ways for him to get out in line of sight. And he should be able to get some assistance here. Tage and also Rom, I do believe, coming in there as well. So we are going to have to be careful. Let's have a look on the other side of the map. Cole Summers going down in this position over on the mine. No res coming out. Moa's come out onto Lipion there as well. They should be able to finish him off, really. But Syndrenner is brought in to the Vamp form state. Frostball gets that stealth down. And we should see mine picked up by oRNG Logo here. Not too bad for those guys as we go back over to the Henge. See what's happening there. Misha just on the side as well, trying to just distance himself and regenerate while the rest of his team members trying to get some focus damage and just actually regenerate themselves, to be fair.
Oh boy, Mancow down here. Tage finished it off with some burns there, so Mancow is forced to hit the portal, and they're going right back over. So that's going to be saved for the meantime, and they're going to be able to get back onto the point and force this fight here. Syndrenner was taken out by Lipian, and it looked like Frostball was kind of forced off as well. So Blue Team, despite that being a 1v2 later on, once they took out the other teammates there, I mean, they still were able to kind of turn that one around because Lipian was able to put down enough pressure and sustain long enough to take out Syndrenner.
They survived that fight as well over on the Henge. They lost it, but they pulled out in the end. And Rom's actually going to go for the boss here. With that shout bow build. It's going to be a slow one, but they're going to sustain the rest of the map and actually just make sure, because the Blue Team at the moment, they need to go for caps, but they also need to try and think about going for a steal. It's not going to happen, especially when one man's in the downstate here. We do see Misha. This is probably game here at the moment. This is a quite pinnacle moment as we do see one member lost. The boss kill comes out for oRNG Logo. They get the extra stats on the map as well as those 25 points. They've got the one cap in their favor as well, and 55 need to try and get a decap here over on that Henge point.
Yeah, they're just doing so well. Curve especially doing such a great job. Cole Summers actually in Vamp form here at about 10% HP. Does get dropped here. Looks like they're going to have enough people around to provide the cleave. Looks like Mancow going to try for the res, but that's not going to happen before he gets stomped out. So that's going to be yet another kill for this red team here. I mean, and in terms of team fights, I would say it's pretty dominant in favor of oRNG Logo throughout this entire game. And going into a map like Legacy that we have next, I think that they would probably be in a good position to set up for taking a game 2 against them as well.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that's not really usual to see for oRNG Logo is the fact, you know, they always win those team fights, but, you know, they have problems with mobility. So, you know, and that's what happened in WTS, you know, they had, mobility was a big problem, especially with the burn guard as well. They actually lose the cap over on the henge there, but they do get the mid and also the mine. But, you know, with this extra mobility they have from the Mesmer, this is a pretty unstoppable team. I mean, rank 55 last week, very, very powerful. But at the moment, you know, not able to hit 300 points here versus oRNG Logo. And we will see this game slowly come to a close, actually. As Misha just goes into the downstate there as well. So, yeah. Big things happening on this map for oRNG Logo. Liking the addition of the Mesmer there, of course. Replacing Frey. And also, we haven't got Denshi here either as well. So,
did you see that?
Just wondering what the future is, whether or not they're going to think about trying to get a Mesmer in their team in the future or not. We haven't seen Frey for a couple of weeks, so wondering what's happening there. Is the summer holidays, of course, so we don't know. But, yeah, what do you reckon about that game?
Man, I think it really came down to the way that oRNG Logo was rotating into these team fights. They did so well. Frostball and Syndrenner playing off of each other so well as well. I mean, they really kind of controlled all of those ganks, and they really put a hurting down on every part of the map. And Rom, of course, getting that boss kill later on, definitely solidifying it if it wasn't solidified already. Curve holding 1v2s for so long as well. I mean, that's everything you can ask for in a Celieli in that position right there, that bruiser role, doing so well, holding teams off and kind of allowing his team to get into those favored opportunities where Syndrenner and Frostball can kind of roam together and take people out 2v1.
I mean, one thing about that combination, like with Syndrenner, is when about, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago, we used to, whenever we saw a Mesmer coming in, his play, like his own personal play, was a lot more confident. Like, he was playing out of his skin. Like, he knew how to move with the Mesmer, because if you're a solo thief on a team and you're not playing with the Mesmer, your gameplay isn't like 100%, it's not 100% different, of course, but it is a little bit different because you're thinking about someone else and you're thinking about teaming up and coordinating your burst, you know? And that's something which he was very, very good at in terms of you know, that communication, but not so much on his own. But the thing is, ever since he was put into that solo kind of position without a Mesmer, his gameplay personally just, you know, rocketed. He started to improve and gets more confident. So when he goes back into that role, he's just comfortable with it, you know. He's just absolutely fine, which is just beautiful. It's awesome. I love Mesmer Thief as a combo. I just think it's so strong. It's good to see. And the portal plays that can come out, especially on that map, those 2 little tiny portals between Misha and Mancal when Mancal went down, and just literally the tiny portal, but because it was up on a step, they didn't have anyone to port up, and they could just get the res, you know, tiny little things like that, which really make those fights just more exciting to watch. Good stuff.
Yeah, that's definitely where Syndrenner feels the most comfortable. I mean, coming from a background, of course, he came from a PvP background as well. He played for, I don't remember the exact team name, but it had the word champion in it. I definitely remember that part, and he was playing in some of the Go4s. But of course, the entire time, however, he was in the GVG scene as well, and that pretty much entirely his role in that kind of scene is basically just coordinating with a Mesmer, coordinating with another thief, and setting up ganks and really kind of controlling side fights. And that's exactly what he's doing in this scenario here with Frostball. Frostball, of course, being an extremely talented Mesmer, so it's definitely, of course, like you say, where he feels the most comfortable, and it really does show. Yeah,
no, I mean, we've got easily two of the best Mesmers on EU in the same series here. We've got obviously Helsef coming up later, so we've got a good showing in the EU today. We are ready to jump into this second game. I'm just going to let them know, and also alter the scoreboard. oRNG Logo taking this first game. If you've just tuned in, it is only the quarterfinals of the Go4GW2 Cup. So yeah, interesting. Just ready up when you can. But yeah, nice to see you, man. It's good to have you on the cast. I haven't casted with you yet. I think you might be one of the only casters I haven't casted with, other than obviously the other language casters, but still casted with some German casters as well. So it's good to have you, man. Definitely.
Yeah, likewise, man. Thanks for having me.
It's good. Yeah, exciting stuff. Okay, wondering if anything else has been decided as well, as we have been taking a little bit of time here. It's not been too bad today. Also, who do you think in chat is going to win? Actually, we've had one win coming out. Sleeping Vu have been defeated by Buff Ellie Kthx Bye. There's a story behind that. I don't want to tell you yet. Just wait, and you can wait and see and guess what's going to be happening with that.
I actually know the story behind that one. That will be definitely interesting to watch. That was someone actually revealed that secret on Reddit. That
really?
particular comp there. Yeah.
Oh god. Well, we know the viewers probably know as well. So yeah, it'll be exciting. Okay, so we are just waiting for the guys to ready up. That's going to happen. I'm going to go through the splits in this next map, indeed, on Legacy of the Fire between oRNG Logo and Dragons here. oRNG Logo have taken the first game, indeed, so we're just waiting to see whether or not the Dragons can come back with an answer. Of course, this map quite strong for 55 ranked Dragons, but with some different changes, as well as changes on oRNG Logo as well. Let's have a look at the splits here, as we see blue team probably going for a far point push, as we would normally expect. Red 11 probably going to Shadow Refuge up here, and then we'll see Misha probably putting the portal towards mid, if at all, actually. If we just jump into Misha's point of view, he's actually gone over towards mid, opting to fill that. No, he's put the portal there indeed. He's going to blink back up, putting the portal more into the central position that we would normally see. And actually, oRNG Logo not falling for it. They've gone for more of an outnumbered position over on the waterfall. Cole Summers is 1v2 at least here over on this side of the map, and probably will go down kind of shortly.
Yeah, he did quite a good job getting some evasive play out, but it's just not enough, especially when you have players like Syndrome and Frostball that we were talking about just earlier here. So that's going to be a kill there. They're going to solidify that waterfall node with a huge far point push, but in the meantime, they actually had Rom go downstate on the graveyard already here, and they have curve low as well, so blue team's still going to be able to get a lot out of this. Red 11 probably going to finish off Rom here.
Yeah, we actually saw Curve escaping through that portal, so good job there for Frostball. Of course, we wouldn't normally see that kind of movement from oRNG Logo, so that probably would have been a loss there, but one mana down on each side presently, as we see. Still things are quite even, but blue team getting their member back into the map now as they come back onto the midpoint here. We're going to see Lipion go quite low himself, jumping into his position, see how he can survive. He is playing Greatsword now, so I do believe we've got some more damage coming out from him. Just double checking his build. Wouldn't normally open this up. He's gone Hammer Greatsword with Marauder there, as well as the Rampage, of course. So we have seen the change up. Not as supportive now. More damage coming out from Ramp 55. Not sure if that's going to help them, but we'll have to wait and see.
Well, he does also get a little bit of mobility out of that Greatsword as well, and yes, because of that, he might actually get this decap. However, Frostball is in the area, probably going to save that. Oh, it does, right before the tick goes off. Frostball managing to save that one. However, if he's forced to pop Distortion, that's not going to last too long. But Rom is in the area as well, so they're going to manage to keep this capped up for their team. So that's good for them. Rom probably going to just keep this cap for as long as he possibly can. Meantime, we're going to be seeing a pretty big fight expand over here on the graveyard, where Syndrenner was already kind of pressured, but good job actually getting the stealth off, so he's going to be alive for now here. And Frostball probably going to set up. It looks like Tage in the area as well. They're going to probably burst on Cole Summers. Cole Summers does manage to get the Signet Stone off and actually clear all the conditions, so he's going to be alive, and he's going to go into evasive mode here on that Stored Dagger. But we saw last time on that waterfall that the evasive mode is good for, you know, a couple of seconds, a couple of evade frames, but beyond that, they could definitely turn it back on him. But, you know, with Mancow able to kind of put some water down for him and provide some support, he's going to be alive and be able to control that graveyard point for his team.
I mean, what we saw there as well was the burst on Cole Summers, and the reason also that happened as well was that, you know, Red 11 had moved all the way over towards the waterfall to +1 versus Rom, and they weren't able to get the kill on Rom. Now, if Rom was running with that Greatsword Hammer, I'm not saying he would have died, because it's Rom, and, you know, he's a bit of a boss. He's good at line of sighting, he's good at being mobile and using the map to his advantage for sure. But, you know, with this build, he's got a lot more healing, he's got a lot more self-reliance, he can remove conditions as well, he's got the shield, you know, he can take a lot of that burst that comes in. So, you know, they weren't able to get that, but they were able to get the kill on Syndrome. So in the end, that push for Dragons here on that waterfall point has actually gone into their favor, which is what they've been wanting to do for pretty much like 2 minutes now. As we see also Curve in a little bit of trouble here. Rampage comes up from Lipion, he's trying to follow him up, but he does get mowed. Good job there to make sure he's not able to pursue. Good counter, of course, the obvious choice coming out from Frostball there. So he tries to go into stealth and might come back onto Lipion for the damage. Does go for the stealth though. Additional stealth to pop over towards this waterfall point, try and pick out one of these targets, as also Tage has been taken out here.
Yeah, blue team actually managing to kind of control things, get back into the game here. Wayward Oracle right now, Misha at about 10% HP. Looks like the Vampirines are going to save him. He does manage to get his heal off as well. Doesn't look like Rom or Syndrenner are able to really kind of finish that one off. However, his stealth is ending soon. He did get revealed here, and Frostball's all over him. Syndrenner in the area as well, so this could potentially turn out to a kill, but he's going to, with that PU build, I mean, it's just so much stealth. He's going to be able to get out of that, and Rom, in the meantime, is at about 20% HP. Not really sure if he's going to last through this one at all, man.
He might do. He's back up to 6k. He gets the sword to jump away. But the thing is, Red Levin was in stealth right where he was waiting. Portal comes out for the portal. Cheeky portal. But Frostball comes through the portal as well. And they're both downstated. Interlocking legs there as well. Rom downstate, Frostball downstate as well. But Cole Summers down over on the midpoint. Syndrome has opted to go to mid. But he actually goes back towards that waterfall point. Even for the cheeky res here. Is he going to be able to get it? Rom is back up, but I'm just going to check if he's in Vengeance. He is indeed in Vengeance.
And that's going to be the killer of him too. I mean, it's fading in just a couple seconds. There's no way they were going to get a kill there at all. But he did manage to get his teammate up. In the meantime, though, Citriner does get downstated here, and we're going to see Mancow put down some pressure. So that's pretty much going to turn.
Look at that, though.
Especially,
they've got the mid cap. Out of losing 2 members, they got the mid cap because rank 55 moved all the way over to this point, and the advantage they had in that waterfall push has just been completely lost, even though Orange Logo lost 2 members there. So great stuff from Orange Logo to keep them up, but the problem is they haven't. They've actually lost this quarry node quite easily because they've only got 3 members and they were waiting for this mid push here. But you know, midpoint easier to keep control of if you want to, if you're outnumbered on the map. You know, it's such a large node. The Ellie, of course, very powerful on the midpoint, being able to just kite around as much as possible, can pretty much stay on the node most of the time. But Tage has been able to get over towards the quarry, but now he's in the 1v2 against a Ranger and a Mesmer. Poor bugger, he needs some help. That's where Rom comes in, and Rom and Tage as a partnership is always pretty horrible to go against, actually.
Yeah, it looks like Cole Summer's taking the worst of it right here. He does go into the downstate. Looks like Rom and Tage are going to try to put some damage down. We do see an SR coming out. That's going to be Red Levens. They're going to go for that res, and they're actually going to put down so much pressure that Red Levens actually forced off, even in that SR. Looks like he's going to stick around, try to maybe go for the cheeky res. Looks like he's going to
Red Levin always Tage! Hello, Tage!
And the pet comes out
no
too.
boost.
Oh boy, what a misplay. That's really unfortunate to see.
Oh, Tage, and I'm pretty sure just then Tage probably had like no cooldowns up either, because he would have used all his torch skills and he's waiting for his weapon swap. So even if he had noticed it, he might have not been able to get into the torch. I wasn't on him at the time there. They've still got the cap though, thankfully for them, and Misha is low. So like you say, a little bit of a mistake maybe from the guys there, but he was in stealth of course as well. But you know, not watching that HP and their awareness of Red Levin was just lost for a moment there. You know, if you can't see the thief, you got to be careful, especially if you've got downstairs players elsewhere on the map. And Frostball just over on mid pulls out the Blurred Frenzy to defend himself as well. Rom does rally around him, but Frostball is going to blink up to the top. Good port from him. So just try to sustain the 2 cap at the moment. I don't think they're looking for the D cap on Waterfall quite as yet, although we might see that happen if they push away from Quarry. Syndrome coming back over to the quarry now as well. Looks like they are going to take out Misha here. Not too bad for them as well.
Red Levin, though, in the area, so is Cole Summers. They might actually manage to get this res. That is going to be the case. They're going to get him up again. I mean, the rank 55 has been doing so well with being able to get those reses, and you know, it might actually be a product of oRNG not actually putting down enough pressure, not making the right calls in terms of, you know, maybe just going for a stomp, finish it off, make sure that that person goes completely out, especially with a Ranger earlier on that we saw. They needed to finish him off there, especially a Ranger.
I mean, one thing, we have seen the downstate of Cole Summers coming out over on this quarry now as well. As Oracle does try to go for it. That's Misha only side.
That is going to be enough cleave right there. We see a 4.5k burn ticks over there from Tage. Syndrome putting down the clusters as well. So that is going to finish it off. So that's what we do want to see.
He's got a portal actually. Misha does have a portal back, and he did get into stealth. He might choose to go back there if they can get. No, we know Tage is aware of it. No, he is going to risk it. If Tage has got his port, he does get the sword port back, which does, of course, give him a lot of mobility, but it gets stuck off node. Red Levin comes in as well. That's great movement from rank 55. Lipion comes as well, but we are going to see the renewed focus coming out from Tage, which is going to negate a lot of that burst which comes in, of course, and they're not able to kill Tage. Now, most Burn Guardians probably would have died in that similar situation, and now rank 55 are on the run. Red Levin actually goes down himself here, but is in stealth. We can see Misha going into stealth here. It's not. I don't think he's going to be able to. He's got decoy up fairly soon, but Red Levin has been revealed here, so I'm not sure Misha is going to go for that. It might not be the best idea in the world, of course. Pulls out Blue Frenzy. But while they're distracted on this point, more importantly, if they lose players, they've actually got the 2 cap and can really come back now quite easily.
Yeah, it looks like we are going to see that turnaround. Potentially, like say, a 3-cap actually coming out, and Lipian's going to solidify that. So they do have an opportunity to hold this back, but we are going to be seeing a lot of respawns happening on the side of this orange logo team Syngenta right now. It looks like they're going for that portal play. They do have the 350 points. They could go for it all here. They do potentially have the damage to make this happen. Red 11 going for some support, trying to take out Frostball, put some damage down before they even.
There's no ROM page though, Kthx. There's no ROM page.
There is no ROM page, but the SR does come out, and it is going to keep the Blue Lord from getting direct hit right here. They do still have some cleave, but Blue Lord already right now at about 80%, dropping. Not too quickly at all, but it finally did get revealed here, so they're going to be able to put some damage down. They are looking fairly healthy for the time being, but it's just a matter of time before blue team decides that they're going to be able to put all their pressure down. He is at about 40% HP. He's not dropping that fast.
He will now, though.
That is going to be. He is going to go down 7 burn stacks. That's going to be the game. Orange Logo taking game 2. Actually, a lot closer than I expected it to be.
I mean, this is actually the map where I thought rank 55 personally. What we're gonna see from TCG is probably the out rotation and +1ing or even +2ing most of the time to try and get these LEs down and then snowball across the map, and then hopefully those LEs for TCG's sake are gonna just run out one by one so they can maybe pick them off on nodes separately in their rotation. It's going to be based off their rotations, whether or not they're going to be able to sustain the fight that they're currently in, rotate to another point, get the kill quickly. But this is going to be quite a challenging match for him. This is going to be quite tough.
I think there's going to definitely be a period of time where they have to kind of adapt and make some adjustments. I think they're going to kind of slip up perhaps in the beginning, but I think they'll probably come back around. We're going to be seeing off the split, we're already seeing 3 LEs making a push for far. We're seeing Jigglypuff there, who is Blackjack, looking like he's trying to go aggressive here. Panda, as well as Shock kind of sticking around, but this is going to be a very interesting split. We're going to be seeing probably 3 go mid, 1 far, going to grab that free cap over there, and we're seeing Shock versus Jigglypuff, however, over on the Henge. In the meantime, though, this mid fight is probably going to prove to be very, very interesting.
I mean, to be honest, if out of anywhere, you know, as well, is that for the Mesmer Thief, they've got a lot of space on the midpoint. This is a good place for them to fight, because they've got the 2 points where they can get up, they can port up, they can blink up, they can, you know, the Thief, like you said, the Trebek's there on the corner, they can really range from afar here. And the Ellie's, you know, once their cooldowns are down, they can't get up there. Alright, they've got 5 lightning flashes. Of course, Kthx Bye is going to go down here. He's one of the best targets to take. This has actually got, you know, not a lot of Kundi removal. He goes for the toolkey, doesn't go for the Elixir Bee, of course. So we are going to see him probably go down quite soon. Although still doing a great job of surviving. Panda, still very low himself. As well as Zuik here, and also Snock here over on the Henge as well. Sorry, Shock, not Snock. What's that anyway? Panda does go down in the end as well, as we see him go down below keep here, and that's a good spread from TCG. I believe that was also by the fact that, actually, nice knockback as well, although we did see potential down coming out from Helseth, so maybe some miscommunication, but the pressure is still good from TCG. No res able to come out from the blue team here, even though they have picked up the most points. We see the first kill coming out from TCG. Good job.
Yeah, Zuik actually going to be dropped here again, because Kthx Bye, or not again, but Kthx Bye actually getting so many good pulls on Zuik. Zuik not able to get any dodges off on those pulls, and these Ellies are just not really playing as closely together as they probably need to be in this setup. I mean, they're allowing Trebeks to basically just kind of run in, assassinate one of them, leave, come back, run in, you know, do the same thing over and over again, because they're not playing off of each other as well as they potentially could be, where they could get their water cooldowns going off of each other, kind of training down single targets and focusing people down. They're kind of just, I don't know,
it's perfect.
Kind of like running around and trying to focus down different targets, and because of that, without that focus, they're not going to really kind of win these team fights that they probably should be winning.
It's perfect for TCG. The way they're playing this is absolutely perfect, because, alright, they haven't got the lead at the moment. They need to get some caps. What the hard thing is going to be for them is going to be sustaining those cap points, and whether or not they're going to be able to do that. Now, we've got 1v2 here over on this point. Eternia, sorry. No, not 1v2. See, oh no, it is in favour of TCG actually at the moment. We are going to see another Elementalist coming into the point. Let's leave that fight. I'm bored of Ellies. Let's go over towards the mine and check out what's going over here. Helseth brings Zuik down into that Vapor form, of course, with Trebeks trying to trail him down from behind. Red team, TCG starting to come back here as well. Snowball taken out over on the midpoint as well. Kthx Bye just finishes him off. But now TCG possible an actual possible future free cap coming out, but Helseth opting to go for the kill. They don't want them to be sustained in the map. This is a sustained team in terms of their resistance to damage, in terms of their protection, their healing, their burning conditions. If they can keep getting these kills and keep ticking them off and leave them with 4 men on the map, they can easily take control of this map and maybe steamroll actually to quite a good place where they can get a considerable lead.
Yeah, they are just not able to handle the pressure that's being put out by Kthx Bye, Kthx, and Helseth. I mean, that trifecta of damage pressure is just far too much for them. They're not able to get out the support to their teammates. I mean, look right now over on the mine. We're seeing Zuik train around with Helseth. We're seeing Sakura do the same. But on the other side of things, we're seeing a train go over on Snowball. No one's even supporting him because, I mean, that's the biggest thing with these Dagger Elementalists, that they really need to kind of support each other, and that's what makes them so strong. That's what makes that double Dagger Elementalist comp really work, because sometimes in those team fights, you just get them on top of each other, and the support is just too much in a team fight. But in this scenario, it's just not working for them. Helseth able to put down so much pressure, and in turn, Zuik probably going to be going down pretty soon as well. As Kthx Bye gets the pull again on Zuik, just annihilating him, dropping into the downstate as well.
It's good. I mean, one thing that's great that's coming out is one thing that I really like is Helseth's mantra. You know, he's doing a lot of really valid interrupting on the Elementalists, where, you know, they're not able to go for the reses. He's predicting the time that they're trying to pop off some of their stability as well, and they're not able to actually perform the moves they needed to. So it's just like you said before, you know, they're separating the Elementalists out into 1v1 situations or 1v2 situations. They're nowhere near each other on the map. In fact, just look where they are dead currently, you know. And then over on the midpoint, we've got, again, Shock here on his own. Currently, Henge is being full just 1v1'd here as well. So we've only just seen 2 Elementalists from the blue team coming together over on this point. Snowball does go down in the end. No one in range to help him out. They could get the free cap here if they can actually snowball onto Henge, but I don't think that would be a good idea.
This is definitely going to be one of the lowest scoring games I think we'll ever watch in the history of Guild Wars 2 here. I mean, we're probably going to be seeing blue team stalemate this Henge fight. We're going to be seeing, we are going to be seeing TCG take the keep, so they are going to start establishing a pretty good lead here. But if Sakura's as well as Panda and Shock can make it through over onto this mine point, they might manage to get a decap. Possibly, and if they do, we're really going to be seeing a lot of slowed down point accumulation here. I
mean, one thing to talk about as well is, you know, you got 5 Ellies, that's fair enough, you know, they can handle some instant burst coming out from Mesmer Thief and that combo, but the problem is that you've got no one to really train them down. I mean, Ellie can follow them to a degree, but they've not got as much mobility as that combination, so they've gotten, even just like 4 Ellies and a Thief would be just so much better than this current comp in my opinion. But it's not over, you know. The game is very long at the moment. We've already gone 7 minutes into it. We've not even hit 200 points.
I would actually even like to see perhaps even a Mesmer or something like that as well.
Yeah.
Get some support off node, and portals can pretty much always secure a res for that Elementalist. They can go into that Vapor Form and slide into that portal and get that free res. But either way, yeah, I agree. I think it would be a lot better with that setup, and they might be at a better chance right here to kind of finish people off and control some of these fights. But at the moment, they're basically just stalemating everything. We did see them actually manage to get that cap over onto the keep. Looks like they're going to be trying to plus out that mine fight where Panda is already in the downstate here. Shock takes a lot of pressure on that downstate cleave. In the meantime, Kthx Bye is pretty low though, so if Sakura could get onto that point, and he does get the decap, the full decap. Actually, I think that was actually already in place, so it doesn't really actually amount to anything there. But he is back on point, going to be holding that, and that's going to be yet another stalemate perhaps. But we are going to be seeing Kthx go for that decap onto keep, and we're going to be seeing that actually go all the way through probably.
I mean, that's not too bad, you know. I mean, having the point contested to the point where they lose a kill, but then the 2 Ellies are together. Now TCG need to lose. They needed to have left that fight. Actually, they stayed there for too long, and Helseth was, you know, punished for it in the end. We're actually going to see Kthx Bye trying to go for the stealth and Elixir X pop just to try and get the res, but he's going to actually bail out of here. Probably going to be able to escape, but I do sense that they did stay there for a little bit too long, unfortunately. unfortunately. Blue team will keep that point. But we did see the 2 cap coming out from TCG. Of course, mainly because, well, they've just lost that, unfortunately, but mainly because, you know, they got that kill over towards the mine as well. Now Kthx Bye is going to just range from above, knowing that he's going to be under pressure, has to jump on points and keep the point contested. Updraft comes out onto him, then a nice fire combo setup comes out. He's going to block that damage, but he's going to be stuck unless he has dodge. Of course, he is able to get out of that ring of fire, of course, but then Snowball can come in for the next burst of fire damage, which comes out onto him. He is able to cleave those to a degree. No elixirs left. Oh no, he does have the stealth to get rid of that burning, so pretty good for the engineer. Now we're using those elixirs with that Condi removal, of course, in that trait line. It's a lot better for us at the moment, actually, as engineers. And again, now we're on this point where they're sustained.
Moa onto
and Time Warp!
There.
Time Warp comes out as well to potentially finish off anyone. It's not going to happen, I don't think. Snowball... No, Zuik dropped into downstate. Snowball trying to go, just keep the point contested. Any potential res coming out, Panda tries to go for it as well. They are able to survive here and sustain, but they need to make sure they can just hold the cap they've got. And the Mesmer Thief combination aren't just going to get that out. We are going to see, shot goes into downstate here. Panda does get the port up. Is he going to be able to get the res versus Trebek as well? Snowball does come down. Is that successful? They perform into an awkward corner. Good place for Cleave to come out.
That corner. I'm surprised they managed to get that that res. I would never want to be against a corner, especially against someone like Texas,
too easy.
Who just lace those grenades into that corner. But despite that, they did manage to get him up. Lord Hellseth actually forced off the point as well. In the meantime, we did see Kthx go for that free decap, and this is, like we were saying, they definitely need that kind of Marauder playstyle to be able to get in and get those decaps, kind of control the fight, and make sure fights happen a lot quicker and force it, because Kthx over here is basically just playing the map however he wants to, because these Ellies just cannot keep up.
Yeah, when I said when we said Moa, of course, that's Mr. Kthx Bye. So don't worry, guys. That's like when we say Moa nowadays, we're not going to say different things because it takes too long sometimes. But Jiggly, of course, is going to go down here as well, which could be a positive start for a comeback for the blue team. But it's taking so long to accumulate any points on the board, of course. So Jiggly is still in downstate. He does get updrafted. The updraft comes out to both players. We've got 5 updrafts, so why the hell not? It's not really going to be a waste because someone's going to have a cooldown left. We are going to see blue team maybe overcommitting to this. They need to start moving out and getting some caps. We have seen Henge about to be picked up by Panda. Hellseth just staying static over towards the mine node. We will see the 2-point pickup from blue team coming out as soon as Eternia is taken out here. But 3 elementalists really versus Eternia here. They need to start moving out a little bit quicker because now we've got this 1v2 situation where they've got a kill on the map, but they've lost the node that they currently had. This is slow movement from the blue team, actually.
Yeah, they definitely need to pick things up a little bit. We are going to be seeing that the Elixir X toss onto Panda. He does accept most of that damage, though, and get most of his heal back from that water teammate. It looks like Sakura is going to be on the point as well, so they're going to have control of it as Zuik is there, and we're going to be still seeing a 2v1 over onto Hellseth here, and they really need to control these 2-point plays. That's the best thing for them right now. Stay away from the 3-point plays because basically Kthx is going to be able to do everything against them. He's going to be able to go wherever he wants, and if they can leave Blackjack over onto the mine, that's really good for them because they're going to be able to have a favorable situation wherever they are, and that's going to be the catalyst to kind of shutting down Lord Hellseth, shutting down Kthx, shutting down pretty much everyone on this TCG side, and we're seeing the kind of the product of that as Hellseth is at about 40% HP and not really sure where he needs to go because, I mean, right now the only thing he can really do is kind of set up in some of these team fights, but if the Elementalists play their game right, they're going to be able to support each other and get each other back up to 100% HP. We saw Sakura's drop to about 10% HP, but this team is just all over him in that water teammate, and because of that, he's low but still alive.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is now Hellseth knows he can push out because how can you can maybe decap the mine node if you send 2 Ellies in back updraft and just kind of CC the Elementalists off point, but if they take an Elementalist out of this fight at the moment, it feels like they're going to lose it. Sakurai actually goes into downstate. Hellseth brings out the Time Warp as well, and Zuik almost going into, is going to go into Vamp form. Sakurai's still down. If Zuik goes down here as well, it's definitely lost. Shock, low HP himself as well, has to make the escape, still has that lightning flash to get away here, does use it to get a little bit of line of sight and do the jumping puzzle over on the side of the henge. We are going to see Zuik probably going down here, and this is going to be TCG game at the moment. We've still got 2 minutes left on the map. Really, we need to see Snowball go for an attempt on that mine point, but there's so much mobility from TCG, they'll get the decap there. Don't see this going in favor of the blue team at present. Really, they need some mobility with this. I mean, we've got a lot of mobility with the Elementalists. We all know that. The kind of static cooldowns that we have, but you know, in terms of like, you know, a portal or those other ports, you know, that comes out from Kthx, who's able to outmaneuver the Elementalist team there, even get the decap at mid versus Panda as well. You know, you can't beat having a thief on the team, and anytime you don't see a thief on the team, you know what's going to happen. You almost can sense the fact that they're going to lose that matchup.
Well, it definitely doesn't play into their interest by playing those 3 points. I don't think that that's a good play for them, especially like you say with that thief and with the Mesmer going up against them. They're just going to get out-rotated every single time. They really need to control those 2 points. That's where they really kind of have a lot of kind of control, at least in my opinion here. They are going to be putting down some damage onto Jigglypuff, and they are probably going to be taking him out pretty soon here. Blackjack is going to be taken out there, so they are going to manage to get that mine point. Snowball probably just going to let him bleed out. Trabax is in the area, though. He might go for that res. He is right on top. They're going to try to put some damage down. Looks like Jigglypuff is going to relocate. They both still have stealth, so they can definitely get this res here.
That's another thing.
No idea.
That's another thing. Can you imagine having a thief with 4 Elementalists? Getting that stealth res off nearly every single time. And then your team would be even more powerful if you can do that, because your survivability just goes off, you know, it hits the roof, because you can always do that stealth reposition, which was a great example there from Kthx, but they haven't got that power of that movement, you know. They've not got the power of the Mesmer with the portal, so they can vapor form through that portal and survive that way either, which, you know, they're missing these kind of things to be able to survive these sustainable fights. They've not got the burst either. So yeah, that's pretty much going to be TCG game. Even though we've seen the 2 cat coming out, 9 seconds left on the map as finally Sekuraz is going to be the last member to go down here. But good job from TCG. Maybe tough in little bit of situations, trying to suss out exactly how they're going to play the map in the first minute or so of the game. But other than that, it was pretty much a TCG game the whole time. Guys, spread the word as well. I want to see 1K viewers at least. It's a bit slow today in terms of the viewer counts, so this gets 1K easily for the final. I know it's the summer holidays. It's like the peak of the summer holidays in the EU, so viewing numbers are going to be difficult. But we have finally got the second game, and Kthx is going to go through the splits of TCG versus Kthx Bye on the blue team.
So this is definitely going to be an interesting split, because they spent about 4 hours trying to decide what they wanted to do. So it looks like we are going to be seeing Blackjack as well as Eternia going onto the far points. We're going to be and mid, and we're going to be seeing Kthx go for the home. Looks like Kthx and Helseth are just kind of deciding where they want to go. It looks like they're just kind of hanging around, maybe going for Quarry here. That does look to be the case. Helseth is going to be going for that, so that is going to be +1. In the meantime, we are going to be seeing 2 versus 1 on the Ellie versus Ellie over onto Graveyard, and it looks like Artful Panda looking where he wants to go. However, we did see a drop. Snowball already taken out onto the Quarry here.
Oh, but here you go. Artful Panda on the point. He should be able to get this stealth res now, actually. Oh! Not back? Was that like...
That was a Kthx poll actually coming out, and on my screen he shot up about 70 feet.
Yes!
Looks like they were going for the field goal in that old American football game there.
It's because of your presence here, man. They're like, yeah, we need to show off some American football field goal tactic strategy going down here. As TCG pick up that first cap over on the Quarry node as well. Panda not moving too quickly over towards that Quarry node. Could have +1 there a little bit earlier, but they weren't sure of where Helseth was as he was stealthed. So the Torch Sword combination being very, very useful in that combination. Shock now getting a ton of pressure on him as Artful Panda comes in from the back as well. Does arrive to put on point just in time here as Shock goes into that vamp form as well. So hopefully they're going to be survived. Artful Panda actually staying on point there. He's going to get the focus on Helseth, and this is what I was talking about before, about the focus that's going to come out onto the Mesmer Thief combination, which is really needed so that they're not able to bring out the extra damage onto Shock on that occasion and actually bring him into a downstate position. Now Zuik can escape and move back into the base. Decap happens on Quarry as well as the other point actually contested as well over on mid now as Sekuraz goes 1v1 versus Kthx Bye. So yeah, not too bad. This is better for blue team now. Just bringing in that Thief has brought out so much extra play for them.
Yeah, they're definitely able to kind of roam a little bit more freely because everybody's trying to take out Artful Panda here. However, we are going to be seeing Zuik get trained out, and they are going to pretty much stalemate this. I think every point is probably going to be stalemated for the next 3 minutes. We are seeing Kthx take some damage. Helseth actually was forced off the point for a second there, but does have his heal. Looks like he's going to drop a portal, and they're going to be perhaps leaving pretty shortly here. However, we are going to be seeing so much damage being dropped onto Artful Panda and Zuik there from Helseth. Looks like they're trying to take out Panda. However, we are seeing Kthx take some damage as well. He's at about 5%. Vamp runes. Burn stacks actually do get removed from him by, I believe, Helseth there. I'm not really sure. But nonetheless, they did get removed, and he's going to be getting ready to put some damage down, probably onto Panda or Zuik here, who are right next to him. Helseth taking that stealth as well. They're going to set up. Kthx Bye not looking too hot right now. The Graveyard did actually get capped. Panda absolutely eliminated there by Kthx and Helseth.
They're going to port back as well. They're going to put, I mean, now you'd expect that, especially after getting Panda. They can port back, they can just poke mid. There you go, Helseth's doing it. They're going to pop back over towards the waterfall. That was definitely going to happen. Time Warp comes out as well. They want to finish Sakurez off, Shock off very quickly here. It's kind of a normal play from TCG there, and picking up the kill on Panda was just a bonus, really, in that situation. They were able to pick up the kill and the cap to bring it one apiece now, but Blue team do have mid, and they, with the elementalist strength that they have, able to solidify their position over there. But we've got jumped over towards the quarry because Snowball's in a bit of trouble here. It does get support coming out from Panda, who's able to engage now onto Kthx Bye. They need to be very careful onto this point. Sorry, Trebek's there on the point rather than Kthx Bye, of course. That was obviously a little bit of a bad by me. Zuik now and Panda on point as we see the Shadow Refuge coming out from Trebek's. And Artful Panda just trying to AoE cleave onto that Shadow Refuge as well. Eternia just poking Panda to move position there as well as he brings out the Shadow Refuge. Trebek's trying to get a little bit of damage off onto Panda as they're both stealthed around the point. Now, Panda is really going to be the person that's going to change the whole game for this blue team, of course. So I'm paying a lot of attention to him actually at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like they're kind of pulling off. Trebek's not really sure where he wants to go either. Those thieves are really just kind of very aware of each other.
Oh, Helseth down! Over on the midpoint. This could be pretty big.
Getting that res.
Easy
Kthx Bye, though, is still low as well, so they could potentially just swap targets, get over onto Kthx Bye, and try to take him out. But Helseth is going to move over to the quarry, and this is a big play for them because as long as, and he does have the target onto Artful Panda is going to go into stealth right before that burst does come out. But with Helseth and as well as the thief here, Kthx, they're going to be able to take anyone out very, very quickly, so they need to be very, very careful with this play here.
It's a good rotation though from Blue. Sakurez comes over to sustain the fight even longer, but they need to put someone's pressure onto Helseth as he ranges from afar, because Panda's gone over to mid to potentially plus up and try and get the kill here, and they almost get a kill. Have a look at Eternia's position now as he's just sustaining on point, but the main fight here is going on off node as Kthx Bye is really the main focus as he pulls that Elixir S-Block out as well, getting the blast heal out as well, and jump shotting away, which is going to give him a bit of extra regeneration as he moves back over towards the side of the point where the jumping puzzle does occur as well. Zuik actually going into the downside. We're going to be able to see the res here. Artful Panda comes in. He needs to res and Vapor Form away. We are going to see that, but a lot of cleave comes out as well. Easy res here should be coming out. There's no counter to that. There is no counter to that other than cleave in just really random places. There's nothing you can do about that res position. They need to pick up another side cap. We've only got a 15-14 point lead now coming out for the teams. But Trebek's... No!
That was such a good downstate cleave. They actually managed to drop Kthx Bye to the point where he was forced into those Vamp runes there. He's still extremely low, and Helseth actually being dropped. Trebek's still at about 10% HP. Vamp runes for also,
he goes down!
They need to take him out too. This might be the point where they're going to be able to turn back around, get that quarry point. I mean, it's just Eternia for the most part left here. Kthx Bye's still in the area, but he's extremely low and in a point right now where he can be dropped, and does indeed get dropped. Sakura is going for that free stomp there, and that's going to solidify it for them. So that's a 3-man wipe for this TCG team, and they need to be careful because they're going to have Artful Panda as well as Snowball onto this quarry point, and they might be able to take out Eternia pretty quickly and solidify this cap for them. In the meantime, we're still seeing 1v1 happen over on the waterfall, and we are going to be seeing actually, I believe, a lot of people going out towards the quarry. Now, we did see that 2 cap actually come out, so that's going to be where the blue team actually going to solidify a pretty distinctive lead if red team can't kind of turn things around very quickly. And with 4 elementalists, you can't expect it to happen extremely fast. However, as I said, that Artful Panda thrown into the wall, so much damage being dropped on him, and we're going to be seeing the elementalist run in and just throw so much support on him so quickly. He is going to be safe in the meantime. However, Zuik over on the waterfall,
slow,
not looking as good as his teammate over here.
Slow movement again. Like, remember what we saw on Forest when their movement was so slow to react. I mean, they're chasing the free cap at the moment. I mean, they can sustain this for a while, you know, especially seeing as, you know, that they are starting to run out of cooldowns, and this might end up better off for TCG, I fear as well. Not fear, I think, but. At the moment, still 2 points coming in. Helseth ran all the way to Waterfall from respawn, and still no one came in for the call. Like, they knew Helseth was missing, they knew he was respawning, and he wasn't in position. Obviously, the stealth comes out as well, so it's a little bit difficult to pinpoint his position. But now they've lost the node over on the quarry. They've actually got the decap over there. Artful Panda now needs to be careful himself as he goes into about 40% HP there as well. I do believe his Vampirian proc came out. Sakurai's probably going to go down here as the pressure right against that fence there. But Panda can go for the cheeky res potentially here. He's going to get knocked down.
does have that Vapor form, so he can go.
There we go, look.
He really needed that stealth beforehand so that he can kind of reorganize himself. And
don't do it, Panda!
Oh, man, just absolutely obliterated there by both Kthx and Eternia. Kthx dropping him with that Rampage so fast, so they're going to maintain that quarry cap. In the meantime, though, we still have a little bit of a stalemated fight. Blackjack taking a lot of pressure, actually could go down here, does indeed go down. He's going to go back on point with that Vapor form. It doesn't look like Trebek is going to be able to get there quickly enough, as we do see Zuik going for that. Oh, I'm not so sure about that. He should have gone for that.
Why didn't he go for the res? Time warp as well, easy.
I'm not sure that it was communicated to him that they had a +2 coming his way. I'm not sure. That might have been a communication error, and because of that, that's going to cost him a free kill as well as his own life here, as he goes into the downstate as well.
Some like you say, like the communication issue, really something there as well. Artful Panda, he's not in any position to really help out. He's going to try and take out Kthx here over on the quarry. That kill's going to be quite big for them to sustain their lead. They've still got mid cap as well, and really what they want to do is they want to keep them away from that Lord Rush time. They want to just slowly pick up the lead even further, but that's not going to happen now because we have got the 1 cap coming out from Waterfall as well over in TCG. Eternia goes down over towards that point over on the quarry as well, near the red team spawn door. He can vapor form through he just vapor form through the spawn. Brilliant, and hardly ever see that actually in a cast, but he could easily res there as well. And that's the problem, you know, they know that he's got that vapor form and they can just get through the base, so you know, it's a kill. But is he going to go down in the end? No, they got the door down before and they were actually able to take him out. Good job from the blue team to make sure they did actually capitalize on that and actually even suck it in Kthx to go for the res, and he's going to go down now. So that's solid 2 cap for the blue team, as well as having a couple of members down on the map for TCG. This is quite a big movement from blue. Unexpected there. Good job. Good stuff coming out. The the Thief edition. How much has this changed the game for them as well? Maybe Fofire as well favors the 5-man or 4-man LE comp a little bit better as well.
I think it really does. We're seeing the portal play come out from Helseth, able to get his teammates into there. So that is going to be a 3-man play here for this quarry. Still neutralized here. We are seeing Trebek all over Snowball. However, we're not really seeing too much damage being dropped into him right here. We are seeing Zuik kind of 1v1ing Kthx as well inside the base, just kind of holding Kthx there, which honestly isn't that bad of a play because, I mean, they already do have the 1 cap. They already have a pretty good advantage. Anything to keep them away from the points is definitely a good play in my opinion. Meanwhile, we are seeing Helseth pretty low. Trebek's probably going to be taken out. That burn stack is doing some work here with that Vampire.
6 now. 6 stacks of burn on Helseth and still no cleanse, and that took really about half of his HP away, and that's absolutely horrible. And there's even in that 1v2 situation, you know, the Elementalist is just ridiculously powerful. He's just trying to contest this point. If it does come out in the end, oh, look at Artful Panda in such a good position to just pick off Helseth just on the side there, and now they can just really finish off Eternia. And if they get this kill here, they are going to probably more than likely take this game. We have got a potential Lord Rush coming out from Snowball here, being very ambitious, of course, as Zuik comes in as well for that potential. Trebek's, this is forcing them into a position where they now have to defend, and they also can't be positive on the map, you know, so they have to, those points are just going to keep ticking for both teams, but still it's kind of in favour of the blue team, because they're still sustaining, if anything, and Helseth down on the map, as well as Eternia, who's about to go down on Quarry. They're pushing everywhere, they're pushing the map, they're pushing the Lord. Zuik does go into downstate here, though, over towards this Lord point.
Texby actually finishing off Snowball as well. Trebek is in downstate right here, but I think that we're going to be seeing Texby go for that full res, get his teammate back up. Artful Panda is here, though. He did make that rotation. He's going to go for that res over onto Snowball here, who is going to get the SR pushed out there by Helseth. So that's going to solidify the kill on Snowball, and perhaps even Artful Panda here, who is at about 1% HP, does have a couple colonies on him. Looks like he might try everything. He's trying everything with the initiative there, but he does get taken down. However, we still have only 2 minutes left in the game. We're at 430 points here, and ooh, we are going to be seeing a misrotation there a little bit by Sakura, who left the graveyard and let it get full decap there by Eternia here.
Yeah, I mean, they lost so many members in that push. They need to keep the 1 cap here. But I fear that I don't think, you know, TCG getting the 2 cap and maybe even the D cap over on the Quarry is going to be massive. They've got the 2 cap now. They just need 1 person to jump on point, guys, to get the D cap. TCG, that was a pretty big mistake, not to just get the D cap a lot quicker so they could come back very quickly, because if they sustain this map in a 3 cap situation, they could just push Lord and by the time they get there, they could get the boost they needed to actually win this game, because they don't need to hit 500 points. They just need to get ahead, because we've only got 1 minute 30 seconds, although slowly we are getting to 500 for blue.
That was definitely a big problem. I mean, Helseth was literally, he had his back heel on the point. All he needed to do was take 1 step back, like literally just a pixel would have done it. They would have gotten that decap and at least held the decap long enough for them to not accumulate all these points. I mean, they're at 343.
Lord Rush!
It's going to be extremely close here. We are seeing a Lord Rush from both sides, Artful Panda as well as Shock already on the Lord, dropping it to about 80%. On the other side, we're going to be seeing Red Team all over this as well. Blue Lord not dropping as quickly on this side. However, we do see 10 burn stacks. This is going to be a complete DPS race.
Oh,
it's 40% on the Blue Lord. On the Red Lord, we are seeing, it's taken out. The blue team does solidify this going into game 3 here. This 4 Ellie Cup with the Thief, that pretty much solidified it. I mean, having the Thief, regardless of whatever happened in the rest of the game, that Thief being there for that final DPS race, I mean, that was the victor right there. Artful Panda being able to put down the pressure, because if he wasn't there, if they had an Ellie instead, I don't think they would have been able to beat the DPS that was being dropped out by those 12, 13 some odd burn stacks that were coming out from TCG on the other side of the map.
No, we're just going to wait and see. But they are going to ready up. This is good stuff. They probably should have called themselves Team Shock, in all fairness. Probably would have been a little bit better of a name. Okay, so Kthx is going to go through the splits on this map. Final map between TCG and also Kthx Bye. 1-1 apiece in this semi-final. In the second semi-final, of course. As we go into the map, Kthx, take us away.
Alright, we're going to be seeing Blackjack go for that windmill cap. It looks like that's going to be probably free. However, we're going to be seeing Snowball actually go over for that. So that's going to be probably a stalemated fight for quite some time. We're going to be seeing a similar thing happen with Shock here. Looks like Helseth's going to go for that. However, we are seeing Panda make a move over here. He might go for that. However, he is going to probably stick around. Looking like he's looking for Trebeks there. The big fight, however, is going to happen over on the clock tower. Of course, that mid fight going to be huge. Helseth might make a play over to the Treb. If he does, that's going to be really, really bad for these Elementalists, as they only have that 1 form of stab there. And this is pretty much going to be... Actually, we saw the free cap over on the Mansion, and probably a fight that's going to last about 10 minutes over on the clock tower, starting up right now.
Yeah, I think you're right. You know, I think we're predicting this is going to be quite a long-winded game. Trebek actually almost going down himself. Helseth was actually just distancing himself on the bottom, the ground floor of everything, up towards the first level of the clock tower earlier with Zuik there, not able to get anything off. We're going to see a lot of decaps coming out for blue team, and like you said, it's going to be very sustained. Although Time Warp does come out from Helseth here on the midpoint. Now, what is he trying to achieve from this? Not sure we're going to see a massive amount of burst damage coming out. No one low on the side of blue, and Helsef is going to have to blink out with those burn ticks coming out and get that stealth just to survive that point there. We are going to see Panda trying to get the +1 over on the windmill. Not able to, as Kthx Bye is also hunting around that area. Helsef again going quite low himself, and Eternia porting upstairs. He's trying to just avoid Zuik as well at the moment. Helsef and Eternia just switching in and out at that point now, as we are going to see the +1 coming out from Eternia in the 2v1 now, as Trebek can't really hold that point versus Shock.
Yeah, Helsef forced off here. It looks like he's just trying to get some space and trying to figure out where he wants to go here. Looks like he's going to double back. We do already have Snowball in the downstate. Looks like Articuno, Blackjack, managed to get that stomp off. Zuik still there. Kthx Bye in the area as well, though. So this is going to be a 2v1. Zuik probably going to be taken out in just a matter of time. And they have so much CC that they're going to drop into him. He's at about 20% HP, about 10% HP, dropping quickly still into the downstate right now. So that's going to be a win fight for TCG here.
That's good.
Come out.
Good rotation. Quick, Helsef comes over to just bring Kthx Bye into this point now, so they can try and get the CC onto Sakuras, get that decap, and that's a perfect rotation from TCG there to bring Sakuras off node. He's done the best thing. He's survived and can jump back onto sustain with Snowball there, but they've still not got the cap, so they need to pick that up. It took them a while to get it in the first place. Of course, with this 4 LE man comp, it's going to take him a little bit of time to do anything, and we are going to wait for the points to come in for TCG now. Of course, there is nothing to bring them back into this game should they so wish. Zoic downstated over towards that windmill point, of course. Kthx Bye on node on mid with Helsef here just over on the side as he pulls out stealth, tries to going out the combo onto Sakuras there. Does get it off. We are going to see Vapor Form coming out from Sakuras. Are we going to see the res coming out from Snowball? Could be a bit risky. Not sure that's going to be the best idea. He doesn't go for it. That's really, really well done from him. And we are going to see indeed some more defense coming out from Panda here. He tries to pick up Helsef. Finally seeing Panda jump onto him as well.
Yeah, we're going to see a stalemate fight over on the mansion here. That's going to last quite a long time. In the meantime, we do still see... Oh, we're actually going to see a +1. Eternia coming in. Trebek's there. Going in for that +1. Shock is at about 20% HP, dropping pretty quickly. Does have Zuik in the area to kind of drop some support. But this is another one of those situations where we're seeing Shock kind of run off point and doesn't actually get a lot of the support because he's off and away. But they did get another plus there, so they're going to be able to drop a lot of counter pressure down onto Trebek, as well as Helseth, who was there as well. And it looks like Helseth is going to be going back in, going to try to go for a kill over on Zuik. Eternia trying to get a little bit of the shocking aura coming out already.
There you go, there's the burst. And actually, Helsef was brought into Vapor Form, which is why he actually bailed even further, but got the regroup with Trebek, so nice double team there. Zuik still doing okay, and is stealthed up here by Panda, so, you know, again, the benefit of that stealth to get the escape there, and that was through blinding powder, of course. So that's again more survivability coming out from blue, but unfortunately they aren't able to get the ticks on the map they want to. And actually TCG are doing so well, so much better at mid than I kind of almost expected, because, you know, also they have got a lot of CC coming out from Kthx Bye, from Helsef, from the Elementalists themselves, so they've still got an answer to that CC combination over on that mid point. We are going to watch Eternia just keeping that side point at the moment. He has got FGS, so he's going to move into mid now as well, as blue team do start to think about the push themselves. They know where everyone else is on the map. Helsef is going to push over to Windmill now though as well. He has got Portal. He's going to be they're going to be going through that again in a minute when this point is sustained so much over on this mid.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing Artful Panda go for that free decap over on the mansion here. No one really in the area. Looks like Eternia did see that, so he's going to be able to prevent that from going full cap. Kthx Bye making a move over there as well. Yep. Looks like Blackjack trying to take out Treb, despite the fact that Panda isn't even in the region anymore, so he's just going to try to drop some damage and leave. That's really unfortunate for them, because they're going to miss him elsewhere, as they already forced off Panda from this mansion point, and he's basically kind of just sort of wasting time. Sakura's going to be going around as well. The clock tower fight is going to be huge here. We're going to be seeing this be a 4v4 for the meantime. Lord Helseth at about 50% HP. Kthx Bye does get the rampage off the dice roll. Elixir X there.
Oh, and time warp combination as well. That's great for him. Low cooldowns.
Yeah, he's going to drop a huge amount of cleave. Unfortunately, though, the problem there is that you know, with it being Elementalist, they're able to get some protection out, and they're able to sustain that. I mean, look at their health bars right now. They were able to get all the way out of that.
Yeah, but they still got down.
Other than Snowball, of course.
Why did he go there? that was interesting. Sakura's going into Mora there from Kthx Bye as well. And that was not... I'm not sure about that position to try and get the res. I mean, I know they're trying to sustain on point, but really almost even thinking about that really brought others into a low state of HP there. Blue team still able to sustain this point and might actually pick up the cap. Can they get some CC onto Sakuras? And the Treb shot comes in as well from blue team as Shock jumps onto the Treb. Sakuras still in down state. Are they going to try and go for the res here in the end? This has been down for so long, well, and with a man on Treb.
Is the one on that Treb, so he's not able to really get in there and do anything about that, unfortunately, for his team. But despite that, I mean, Trebax is going to go for that decap and actually get it here. And this is what I was talking about before with the fact that they have the Thief, with the fact that they have Helseth, who is in down state right now and probably going to be saved here by Trebax with that SR there, and of course with Kthx Bye as well. I mean, with the fact that they have two guys who can really kind of out-rotate on a Z-axis, they're really kind of able to control the map, get where they need to be, and basically just control the nodes, because that's basically what they've been doing. I mean, there isn't a whole lot of killing on either side. We're already halfway through this game at 7:40 left to go here, but Artful Panda right now at about 5% HP, has a couple of conditions on him, does get some support, but if he doesn't get into stealth soon, he's going to go down, does go down. Kthx Bye in the down state as well here. It looks like they're going to try to go for a little bit of a DPS race onto the bodies. There's so much cleave being dropped on Panda, but it's not enough. They do manage to get him up. Helseth drops him out of that SR, so he's already revealed right now. They could potentially take him out very quickly in his black powder. They do not do it yet. He's still so low, though. Both sides have their players so low. Kthx Bye saved by Elixir S and the Vampire here at about 1% HP. Does get taken out there. Sockers and Snowball able to finish that one up. Looks like they're going to go for some downstate pressure, and that's potentially going to be enough to finish the job. Yeah,
they really need this decap though over on the mansion. They need to grab this as soon as possible, especially getting the down on Kthx Bye. This is going to be a great situation because he's going to have to run all the way over to mansion. So they need to outnumber there, but they also need to keep the decap over on the windmill, because otherwise TCG are just going to come back into this game. But Eternia are just happy to sit over on the mansion point, and that's tough to do. You know, that's tough to just stick on that node and just not be involved, but, you know, still doing a good job. And he's bringing the points in for them at the moment while they keep that mansion point. But now he's starting to get a bit impatient, maybe thinking about pushing to mid now, because they know where everyone is on the map at present. Helseth's coming to mid as well.
Red team got a capture point.
Oh, portal comes out from Helseth. I'm going to see he's just static over on the windmill now. TCG able to get the cap now as well. Chaos Storm comes out onto Snowball. The interrupts are real. We're going to see the Kthx Bye bringing out that Tornado, which really pushes blue team members out of that cap even more so. And their movement out into the map is slow. Like, the decision making is just taking too long.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing Artful Panda dropped here, as we do see the quickness coming out from that time warp. As soon as Kthx Bye dropped in there, Sakura is going to go into the downstate as well. They're going to finish that one out. Looks like we're going to be seeing Zuik probably trained out as well here, as he's extremely low. Kthx Bye all over him. We're going to see Articuno all over him. Helseth all over him. I mean, he's just pretty much the conductor of a choo-choo train right now, just getting absolutely obliterated here. Does manage to get that port up, though, up to the clock tower, where he does have a little bit of support, perhaps, but that's not going to be anything for him there, as we do see Trebax probably going to finish that one off. In the meantime, though, we are seeing Kthx Bye roll up. That could potentially be a solidified 3-cap here, as Zuik is down. Kthx Bye going down for some downstate cleave as well, but with him going back up, that is probably going to be a 3-cap for this team here, if they can control the mansion. But that does not look like it's going to be the case, as we do see Eternia being dropped here by Panda and Snowball. So they're going to actually turn something around for themselves here, as mansion does get capped up in just a matter of time. Helseth, though, getting that res on his teammate, and they might be able to turn that one back around. However, it looks like they're just going to opt to leave, go back over to the clock tower, where their teammate really does need the support, as Shock at about 2% HP already. Trebax getting trained a little bit by Panda here. Shock's forced off point. Sakura is on the point in the meantime. They look like they just traded spots here, and we are going to be seeing probably yet another sustained fight, unless they can drop Sakura. Sakura is at about 30% HP, and dropping quickly, but able to get some heals off for himself. Shock about to be back on point, but if he decides to do that, he's not going to be in a very good spot, as he is going to get dropped here. Does get dropped indeed. Shock is in the downstate. There's so much pressure being dropped on him here. He does get the stealth, though, and he's going to be able to relocate himself.
Perhaps fell down, though.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the kill, as Eternia goes for the stomp with stab up.
Might get the kill almost on the Eternia there, but he just actually they opt because they've actually got to res themselves. Trebax in the downstate as well. Shock's definitely down. They need to get this kill to really bring it back, and they need at least they're going to need the free cap pretty much to come back into this game. And that's going to be the only answer they have, and they're going to maybe even lose the only node they have, as Eternia just nails it right over towards the mansion point, but Sakuras gets there in time. Eternia knows that him being there is going to be kind of pointless for now, unless he just keeps the Ellie there and waits for those points to come in. And now they've got the 2 cap, they need to get the D cap onto the windmill to even have a chance. 3 minutes of the game, it's looking very unlikely here.
Yeah, I don't really see it happening at all. I mean, 444 points, they have Windmill pretty solidified right now. I mean, if you look at the positioning on the map, you can already see, actually, Helseth going for that decap as well with that portal there, so great play from him, going right back through it, just going to support the Windmill, but they did manage to get that decap. They still have Windmill. They're in a position right now where I don't really see them losing it at all. I mean, if you look at the positioning, Artful Panda trying to go for something, but I just don't see it at all. They're just all so close that they could get the support if they need to, and Blackjack isn't going to die in 1 second flat, so we're actually seeing Snowball potentially drop here, and does actually go down. Eternia and Texby with that Rampage. I've been getting so lucky with that actually lately. I think I've seen him go Tornado once this entire series.
It's true, yeah, that was earlier actually towards the windmill. He's got a little bit of the 5 gauge luck going on there, I think. But yeah, fantastic play from TCG. They've definitely won this game. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left. I think the blue team is just trying to get some kills, trying to work out how maybe they can bring this comp into some bit of situation later in time. But I think that is it. And Elsef having a little bit of banter there. Not something we're used to, of course. And that's some great sarcasm from me. But I think he's talking about the 4 Ellie comp there with the filthy, inhumane comments perhaps as well. But still able to sustain there for a length of time. And TCG will take this semi-final and go into the final, more than likely, against oRNG Logo. So let's just double check to see if oRNG Logo went into that final. Of course, they're already there waiting for us. Interesting.
Yeah,
the
that
word.
would be...
Waiting for the players to ready up. Can we go, please? Question mark.
Yeah, we're just waiting on Texby and Helseth here to ready up. The rest of the team is ready to go, though. So once they ready up, we will be underway. Getting pretty close to that point, in my opinion, where it would be a / game start. You know?
Yeah, I thank God you said that.
Oh, here we go, boys. Here we go.
Oh my God.
Esports time. Let's do this, boys.
The hype is real as the game gets started, and Kthx gets very excited because that's a bloody exciting moment today, to be honest, and is legitimate. So let's wait for these splits to come out. Kthx is going to go through the splits between TCG on the red team, oRNG Logo on the blue. Big matchup coming up. Kthx, take it away.
I mean, it looks like teams are pretty reserved. We're seeing very, very similar split actually happening right now. We're going to be seeing 1v1s over onto both side nodes. The biggest fight here is going to be a huge 3v3 over onto the keep, where already we're going to be seeing Texby on the point here. Looks like there's going to be a huge... Oh, they drop him so quick there. Frostball, Page, and Syndrenner just delete him from the fight. And the red team is now forced. Helseth as well as Tribax, they're forced away, going back over to their home node to try to +2 that mine point, where right now Eternia is doing a fairly decent job versus Curve, but Curve right now still at about 100% HP, so...
I mean, I felt that the idea there was Helseth was going to drop a portal so that if Texby did get bursted, he could just Vapor Form through that portal. That didn't happen in the end. I'm not sure if that was just a late portal drop or what, really, to be honest, because that happened a lot quicker than I expected. And now over towards this point, we have got the issue where TCG might be outnumbered, although over on the the windmill, wow. Wrong map, but you can see Ron picking up that henge node as they are in a 2v1 situation, able to do that, of course, as Texby is taken out on the map, but comes back into node now, and with oRNG Logo pushing this mine point, it's going to be difficult for them to pick up, probably with the decap now as well over on the midpoint. Pretty easy for Texby to grab that as Tage is taken off point. Articuno coming in here as well, and Tage 1v2 versus 2 Ellie's not great, but now Rom comes in for this power combo of sustain from potentially, hopefully, for Tage's sake. Now Tage is going to try and retreat here as well as doing the jumping puzzle on the side there as well. He's going to just retreat, but he's going to have a couple of issues as he tries to get away, using that 2 skill to actually port away on the sword as well. But oRNG Logo able to sustain this mine node. No points coming in from TCG at the moment.
Yeah, they're doing quite a good job of controlling these side nodes right now, stalemating that keep fight. They did actually take out Eternia, but he did get rezzed up by Helseth, who managed to pick him back up. In the meantime, we are seeing Curve doing such a good job maintaining this. However, on the keep fight, we're actually seeing Rom get super low right now versus Texby, who's doing a great job of maintaining the pressure. We are going to be seeing Helseth come through as well, though, and they're going to put down some pressure that could potentially drop him and do so. Frostball in the area, but he's going to go ahead and get off as pretty much the stomp comes out as soon as possible. We're going to be seeing Frostball go back over to the bind point. Looks like he's going to be doubling back, just grabbing Syndrenner. Syndrenner going to be following up on Helseth. Helseth trying to go for perhaps a decap over on Henge, but sees that Syndrenner is in the area and Rom's going to be coming off of spawn, so he go ahead and he says, you know what, I'm going to go back and try to get back over to the keep point. In the meantime, though, we're seeing Tage dropped here in the downstate, and there's so much pressure being dropped by both Articuno as well as Jabax here that Syndrenner cannot, or not Syndrenner, but Curve cannot get him back up, and they did actually take that mine point as well, and with that decap happening on Hinge, Eternia could potentially get that one as well. This is a huge comeback actually already, just very early on in the match, that they've got this 2-cap solidified. Tage still in the downstate. They do have Texby in the downstate though. Vapor Form is going to keep him up, and the SR is going to get him in Viz, so they could potentially go for a res, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Helseth is in stealth, could go for it right here because they don't know where Texby or Helseth are, and they are going to get that res full off. And Curve is now going to be in some trouble as he's going to be in a 2v1 situation here on this key point.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I still think that mine push maybe from Orange Logo, a little bit optimistic actually when the respawn, and Texby going to mid as well, and that point, the more sustained it is, the more it's going to go in favour of TCG because they've got the Ellies, you know, so they're able to offer up a lot of cleave, and that's punishing for people like Tage, you know, even though they've got some nice CC. Sorry, we're going to see Articuno actually go into that Moa, of course, as Frostball successfully gets that off, but unfortunately Syndrenir goes down there as Helseth picks up the burst on him, and now Frostball is going to have to try and get the decap here. I'm not sure what he's going to try and achieve. He's going to have to grab the stealth, grabs decoy as well. We are going to see some support coming in potentially from other members. No, we're not. No one is coming to help Frostball here over on this point. We are going to see stealth movement, central movement from Rom and Tage over onto mid to help out Curve here. Really needs some assistance. They need to get onto him quickly here. And that's going to happen now, unfortunately. As Curve does get up, he does lightning flash up the top as well. It's still kind of chilled over here. Articuno has gone down over towards this mine node now, but it's still capping the point. And his Syndrenir does come in for the down. Hopefully they're going to be able to pick up that point. No one able to help Articuno over there as well. Texby dropping quite low himself as he tries to escape over towards the Henge node possibly, so he can double Ellie up versus Tage over on this node.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty much back and forth for the next couple of minutes here. We're going to be seeing actually Tripax trying to go for a little sneaky decap, but it looks like Curve does know what's kind of happening. Syndrenner in the area looks like he's going to be floating back over towards Tripax, where Helseth's kind of following him up as well, and that could turn into a little Zerker 1v1 here. But Helseth actually is going to go for the portal, does get the decap. I don't think Syndrenner even knows where that is, but he does see that decap is happening, so he's going to lose that one. He is going to be on the point, though. Going to be a 1v1 here. Over on the mine point, we still see that 1v1 between Rom and Articuno. That's going to be stalemated for quite some time. But over on Hinge, we actually did see Tage get dropped. Does get rezzed up by his teammates here, as we did see Curve as well as Frostball. They managed to get him right back up.
It's a nice compliment, though.
7 burn stacks over on Eternia, though.
I know. I'm not sure. You don't need to worry too much about that name change. But anyway, Tripax comes over towards Frostball, takes him into the downstate in the end with a nice burst as he tries to escape there, of course. We are going to see also Texby and Eternia dropped here. So this is big. Frostball does go down, which brings Texby and Eternia back up. I'm not sure if we got res or we got rallies there, but we must have seen one rally at least. And that's a big thing, a big kill. If they'd kept those guys into the downstate, Orange Logo could have steamrolled this map with 2 elementalists down, but not able to in the end. Still, Orange Logo do have the cap in their favour. Frostball now respawning over towards this Henge point. Are red team going to just sucker them into this node continuously? I think Orange Logo just need to get out. That's what they're doing. They realise that this is the case. They need to do is Tage needs to get this port on towards, away from this side of the map, as we do see Shadow Refuge drop there as well. Tage is just trying to survive here. Still has survivability. Good, nice port. There we go. That's what he needed to get out of that fight. But still being chased from behind by Trebax as well. Oh, close. We've got the cap for oRNG Logo over on the midpoint. We are going to see a quick decap. Easy decap for the red team. As Syndra is just racing across the map, trying to +1 and get decaps and caps where he can at the moment. He is all over this map.
Yeah, and he basically needs to be because, I mean, with this 1v1 happening between Articuno and Rom here, this has been happening for several minutes here, and if they can plus this and kind of get some headway going for themselves very early on, when they get kind of counter plus, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Yeah, completely.
They need to make sure that they have some sort of headway, because when they come in, I mean, Frostball is going to be able to put down some kind of pressure as well, but Trebax as well as Helseth, they could have potentially basically walked in and just blown Rom completely up if they wanted to. Unfortunately, they weren't able to do that, and Frostball and Sojourner were able to put so much damage already onto Trebax, who was forced off. Helseth was countered as well a little bit, and Trebax still at about 50% HP. Sojourner in a similar state, though. He does have his heal coming off right now, though, so he's going to be back up. But this is going to be one of those crazy fights where it's basically just going to be who can line up their burst first and who can do it kind of quickly, because Trebax right now at about 50% HP doesn't have too many cooldowns left here. Has his withdrawal coming up in 5 seconds, but this is basically gonna be a 2v2 between Trebax, Helseth, and pretty much Syndra and Frostball. It's going to be coming down to that. Articuno right now very, very low. Frostball low as well, though. And it looks like,
again, all about that stealth survival.
This is all about the support play, though. I mean, you have so much damage coming out of both of these teams here from those two kind of roaming classes coming out with so much burst damage, like all the front-loaded damage you could really ever ask for. And I mean, because of the support, the way that they can kind of play in these fights and really get some good team play going, and the synergy that these teams have, I mean, they've been able to sustain completely off of that, despite only having one kind of sustaining player in these team fights.
Yeah, agreed completely. Now, one thing that changed everything in the game just then was the kill on Kthx Bye over on mid. He wasn't able to survive that in the end, and because of that, TCG have now lost not only the mid, but they've lost over on the mine. Not just because of that Kthx Bye kill, of course, but this fight was so sustained that oRNG Logo were just able to get that because Syndra was over in that fight and mid as well, just finishing it off, I believe. We saw the easy decap of Henge, able to be mobile, but now because they've been actually stretched a little bit too far here, we have seen Frostball going down, and they need to think about whether or not they want to sustain this with the amount of Ellies that we currently have on this side for TCG at the moment. One thing I wanted to note as well is Helseth running that mass invis, so that's pretty good, like not only for some survival there, but also for the actual rezzing of those elementalists, like he just used it just then. That oRNG Logo are confused, they don't know where they're going to go, and with this actual situation with having 3 Ellies and being in downstate as well and getting stealth, it's pretty nice for the repositioning, man. It's a pretty good elite to switch in.
Yeah, and because of that, they already did take out Tage, and Rom's going to be next as they do get both of them down here, and that's going to be 2 kills. They're going to be able to potentially get this this mine point back, and they already do have a little bit of a lead, a couple points here, and once they kill off Rom, they're really going to have a lead and have that 2-cap as well in favor of them, and Trebax right now finishing Rom off. That's pretty much going to solidify their ability to kind of keep the momentum going. Tage still in downstate, and they're going to be able to push that fight potentially over to Henge, but I would venture to say that we're going to be seeing Helseth and Trebax try to take out Curve very, very quickly here in just a matter of time.
If oRNG Logo don't take out Attorney, like you said, oh wow, Fire Plague Blast comes back into the face of Syndra there, and he is royally taken down. We've got the kills coming out onto oRNG Logo. Frostball just needs to get away and stealth out and survive because they've got too many people out. Syndra in downstate, Tage is down and out. Frostball again going in for the res, trying to get it. But Rom is there as well, and that banner was not good enough in the end to sustain that fight over on mine, and Rom wasn't able to do anything over on that Henge point. Look at the point score now, but TCG's take a powerful lead with the 2-cap coming out. And still, Curve couldn't do anything. He needed to stay at mid. But look at the quick rotation coming out from Helseth and also from the Elementalists of Eternia. They've moved over to mid quite quickly. And even as well, Trebax, they want to get the quick kill on Curve and pick up a decap but Curve is going to have to really be a boss. We know how strong he is on node, but he can't stay on point for too long. Good lightning flash up top means his survivability is increased, but Frostball comes up as well at the top level, trying to pick up Helseth and get that nice kill onto him. So good support from oRNG Logo onto mid. They need to stretch out onto the sides. Syndrome is trying to get that decap over on the mine, but Kthx Bye is in the correct position. But also Articuno is on the other side of the map, so maybe oRNG Logo able to push TCG out of this node. Oh, Portal! Yeah, look at Frostball! Oh no! Articuno just off point, not able to get that decap, and Articuno knew that was going to happen. Obviously the Portal keeping him there, but now they need to get that kill at mid as quickly as possible, and that might actually means that Articuno now can move.
Look at the mine here. We are seeing Kthx Bye under a lot of pressure right now at about 10% HP. Eternia is here, but Syndrenner might be able to finish up Kthx Bye if Kthx Bye can't get stealth very quickly. We're seeing Syndrenner all over him right now. He's still at 5% HP, but gonna be dropped here. Syndrenner does finish the job. However, back over onto the mine point, we're seeing Eternia and Rom once again in a little bit of a 1v1 here. We're gonna see it plus though. Helseth is coming in, looking like he's going to try to put some pressure down into Rom, and he's been able to pretty much obliterate Rom in all of these fights here. I mean, the damage that he's able to put out, even on a Settler's Amulet, is absolutely insane. Just even with the shield that Rom has, he's not really able to block a lot of that out, and because of that, he's at about 10% HP here, and not in a good spot. He does have his shouts, so he's going to be able to sustain for a little bit.
That movement. And, look at his back. Look, half HP now. You're going to wait for the burst. I mean, that's the thing. That's the difference, isn't it? Like, going down onto that rock below you, like, there's that area where you can't steal. There's a bit of line of sighting going on. And really, you know, this is the top tier play of knowing those points of the map is so important. It's really so important for your survival, just knowing these little tricks on the map. And that really comes out for all these players in this series that we're currently watching. And in a very exciting one where we're down to 1 minute and 20 seconds on the map. We've got 1 cap apiece. Ellie's guarding those nodes. And it's all resting on this mine point. If oRNG Logo don't get anything out of this, they will lose the game. They need the kills to pick up the node. And actually it's coming off point now. Rom is going to be taken into downstate. And this is very careful. A sliver of health left as Trebek gets that steal off. But does get put down into Vapor Form. Gets put into downstate as well. This is big. They need to make sure they get this kill so they can get the cap in their favor, but TCG pick it up even though they've got the downstate of Trebek. That's massive, man, for the end of this game.
That's something you definitely do not want to have happen.
That's
to
the
you.
mistake that TCG
so did because yeah, I mean, like with this, they're going to have Trebek go all the way over to keep. He's able to get all the way over there. He's going to get the decap. This is going to potentially turn into a 3-cap situation. I mean, that was something that just completely swung this fight, at least in my opinion, that if they would have gotten the kill, they probably would have been able to quickly plus over to the mine fight, win that. They would have definitely still had keep because Trebek would not have been up yet. They would have been able to turn this to a 2-cap, but now they're in a situation where they're in a 3-cap, and I think they're going to lose.
Yeah.
And it all came down to that.
Yeah, pretty much that. Like, it's the distraction from whether or not that was what they were planning, you know, really off-point fighting, which is what oRNG Logo do. But sometimes to their own detriment, where, you know, they focus so hard on the kills that they forget that they need to pick up the caps to win the damn game in the first place. And that we see that sometimes coming out from them. But there's so many elementalists there that they can't stay on node for so long. And Rom's so under pressure, he's not able to focus directly on complete support. He has to actually depend on his own survival. We urge you, Ranger and Necro players, show us your stuff. Show us how awesome we are. Second game in the final of the ESL Go4GW2 Cup, 43 Kthx.
Oh my god.
We did good, man.
I think that was like 30 some odd minutes or something. Here we go. We finally get to watch them play. Let's see it happen.
Kthx is going to go for the splits for us because it might be the last time on EU for a bit, but we never know.
Man. Alright, looking like we're going to be seeing Rom go over to the waterfall. That's going to be a 1v1 with Articuno. We're seeing Curve do the same. TCG Kthx Bye is going to go for that 1v1. We are going to be seeing a 3v3, actually pretty solid 3v3 happening over on the quarry. We're already seeing on the point, oh boy, Eternia already at about 10% HP.
Oh,
I'm so used to someone else being
I
that
know.
position, right?
The stealth comes out as well from Helseth from the elite, of course. Mass Invis really does save him, and he's back up to full HP. Again, that massive Invis being very, very powerful for their survivability, but that does mean the orange logo got a significant amount of ticks on that cap. Although that doesn't matter for anything because now Tage low health himself. They need to focus on the survival here, but also Eternia goes quite low. Is he going to be able to survive? Conditions coming out on him. He does get burst down to about 800 HP. Got the burning tick, and no! Look at the beast! Oh, he does go down in the end. Helseth in stealth will try and get him up here. Tage goes down in the reversal burst, but he gets stealthed up by Syndranir.
So close there, actually, and Tage able to get back up as well as Eternia. So this is going to be another big fight that's going to happen here, and it's going to basically just continue on. Tage is in a pretty safe spot. Doesn't have too many cooldowns though, so he still needs to be very, very careful, especially with Texby in the area as well as Helseth, especially Helseth though. Looks like he's going to drop some damage down onto Helseth, put some burns on him, and it looks like in the meantime Frostball taking a little bit of heat, does have his heal up, and he's going to be safe for the time being. But in the meantime, we're seeing a cap actually already on the side of blue team here. Syndranir on the point with his teammate Frostball here, trying to put some damage onto Eternia. The portal does come out. Frostball is going to go back over to the quarry, come back over to Graveyard again here actually. Still kind of sitting in that ring though. Syndranir is taken out, but Frostball was sitting that a little bit long. Did get a little bit more burn stacks than I think he wanted to, but still got his teammate up. Eternia now at about 50% HP. And Curve on the point as well. They should be able to take Helseth out, who is trying to burn down Frostball. Doesn't manage to finish the job, but Frostball doesn't have any cooldowns, so he needs to be very careful. He still could be taken out in just a matter of time.
Yeah, that was immense. Just as they started to get a little bit of momentum onto Eternia, they come out from that quarry win and they just go for the almost kill onto Frostball there. Helseth now low HP himself as Tage tries to focus him down just with that passive damage there, bringing out the burns. But Helseth brings out the portal himself, so to potentially bring out the burst onto Curve. Curve is really tough to bring down, so in that situation, I'm not sure it'll work out for them, because by the time Curve has survived, the rest of the members can come back over, and Helseth has to pop that massive Viz for his team to survive and pull out of this node, as Syndranir goes for a potential look over on that quarry, and that's not able to come out in the end. As we go back towards midpoint, have a look, it's still solid there. And it's rare that TCG aren't able to capitalize off a portal move like that. And yeah, good sustain from TCG. Tage is feeling the pain in the moment as well as he tries to avoid getting completely focused here as well. But the focus is also onto Trebx. But Tage just gets out of that cleave. Does a nice port onto Trebx to try and get some extra damage, and not able to get it in the end. All of TCG kind of full on the HP range at the moment.
Yeah, Tage dropped into downstate here. So much cleave being dropped onto him already here, and it does not look like they're going to be able to get the res, as Tage is completely cleaved out. Rom right now at about 40% HP is in a position where he could be completely dropped as well. Doesn't have any cooldowns. Is able to accept that portal, however, and get back onto the point where Curve, so much healing onto him. They're going to swap over to the quarry node right now where Texby is alone. Syndranir and Frostball are going over to him right now. It looks like Eternia trying to get over there to support, but they might be able to drop Texby very quickly. They're all over him right now. Dropped him to 5% HP. The Vampirins do save him, but they drop him right after those end. Eternia is on the node though. Helseth there as well as Trebax. They're going to go for that res. They're probably going to solidify it. I don't think there's going to be enough cleave, and that is the case, as they do manage to get Texby back up and into the fight.
Again, you know, it's that mass invis.
Ooh! The 12 burn stacks absolutely annihilating Texby. They feared him into it there. Rom able to land that one out there. I believe actually
Texby not able to vapor form. He's going to vapor form through the portal now. Is he going to survive here? He's still in. No, he drops out of stealth. He's so low. Trebax comes in for the res, and they're going to be able to get Eternia as well. And Texby gets res from almost 0 HP. The cooldown of Vapor Form comes out just in time, but they get Helseth down in the end. Helseth is in stealth as well. Oh no, he comes out of it. We are going to see the res coming out from Trebax. He has stealthed him up as he comes in for the res.
Don't let him get that decap. Oh, Tage managed to get on the point there.
That poor.
Texby could have managed to get that there. That would have been such a clutch play from him, but Tage was on the point quickly enough and was able to make sure that that didn't happen. Eternia and Texby here, double dagger elementalist on this point here. However, Eternia could potentially go down right now. He's so low here at about 2% HP, dropping still. Able to get some heals for himself. Looks like we're going to be seeing Frostball try to finish the job perhaps, but in the meantime, we are seeing blue team control this here. Orange Logo managing to hold on to that quarry node. Rom still on the point, just making sure that everything goes swimmingly for the time being.
Yeah, good job. Kthx Bye through res almost. Oh no. Are we going to be able to see him get him up? Yes, he's back up and in the fight. Oh my good lord. The resing that is coming out from TCG is pretty good, but they're left in a position where they can't really advance anywhere at the moment. And we have seen a portal being put down here, not by Helseth, but by Frostball. Maybe they're thinking about, oh no, he's thinking about maybe his own survival as well. Frostball just hanging out right on the edge of that Shadow Refuge, but gets pushed out of that in the end as he does a little bit of damage himself. Very low, pulls out the portal, his own survivability should be okay. Got decoy as well, it does pop that, so actually make sure he's going to be fine here. Actually pops back through the portal. We are going to see a massive Viz as well coming out from Helseth there to reposition himself and his team. We are going to see Frostball coming. When he came back from that portal, he was instantly came upon, and now really we've seen the power of the banner coming out, and that's the first really significant banner drop that we've seen today probably.
Yeah, I would probably agree to that. However, we're going to be seeing Eternia being dropped here.
Oh, and Rom!
In the downstate right now. Rom as well. Rom actually getting that full res off, though. And we still see Eternia. Looks like they're trying to go for the res, but there is a decent amount of damage this time around. And they're going to be able to maybe actually turn this into a kill. Eternia still, though, at about 70% HP, but no one now is close enough. Looks like everybody is pretty much forced to pull off. Looks like Eternia trying to go for that self-res. Not really sure what that was about. Frostball going to go finish it off here, though.
Trying to make sure he gets the Vapor Form, maybe. Again,
well, with Turbex rolling in, as well as Kthx Bye, I think that Turbex was probably going to be able to manage to get that stealth off, and then with Kthx Bye in the area,
oh, Frostball!
Get that off, though.
Unexpected, actually. Rom comes in, they come back through the portal, Frostball comes in as well. Are they going to be able to get the res? No!
Syndrinner is there, Rom there as well, but it's just not enough here as Frostball is going to be finished off. Rom forced off, same with Syndrinner there. Syndrinner is extremely low, he needs to be really careful. No cooldowns, they're going to finish him there. Helseth gets it with the Mind Rack, and he's going to be completely finished off. That stomp is going to come out as well with Helseth getting that force stomp, I believe it was, as well. So that's going to be huge for them. They're going to be able to start...
We've got no disengage here.
Rom's going to be killed off too. They're absolutely obliterating Orange Logo here onto this quarry node. They're going to be able to push into this graveyard with a lot of force here. Curve and Tage are the only ones left back up. Syndrinner coming off of spawn right now. Could make it in time. Frostball is in the area as well. They might be safe for the time being, but it's going to come down to what they can do versus Tage here. Tage accepting a lot of pressure already. Trebek's already in downstate and just deleted. Absolutely deleted. So many burn stacks. Syndrinner putting so much damage into him as well. Curve all over him. Also, I mean, that was absolutely huge counter pressure coming out from Orange Logo, able to turn that one back around and make sure that they stay in this game because they need to push out to one of these side nodes right now and get some pressure out because they have Graveyard. They still do have that lead, but there's still 6.5 minutes left, and both teams are kind of in a position where pretty soon they could go for a Lord push.
Yeah, this is going to be tight towards the end, dude. I mean, we need to see Orange Logo might just keep the cap mid. Try and distract, ready to go for a Lord Rush. Look at here we go. Frostball's going for it. Going for the Great Sword on the door. He's got the portal up, so 100% Orange Logo will, with awesome timing, are going to go for that Lord Rush. But it might be a bit too early. Like, tiny bit. Here we go. Like, 3 points left. No one's mid. That would be devastating if they lost that cap right now.
3 coming through the portal. This 4-man push towards the Lord. This could be it. How are we going to be able to see Eternia support that Lord push? We're already seeing the Red Lord at about 80%. It's dropping pretty steadily, not quickly, but steadily. They're able to get some support into it. It's at 50%, still dropping though. Eternia taking so much heat right now. Syndrinner's low as well though.
He heals! Look at the stealth! He heals! Again, no, TCG are so good at defending these Lords sometimes, but the Lord is only 8%.
Oh, no.
Rom goes down, Tage down. Synjunir, this is big again. Orange Logo fail on the Lord Rush. We saw this at the Go4. Rom, we actually can see the rally there of Lord Helseth, and that's a free, almost 4-man wipe.
That might be the game. They're going to be able to get that full cap onto Graveyard. They have all the points right now. They have everyone up. It looks like there is a little bit of a pull-off here. Frostball as well as Curve are going to get the decap over on
They need to go again.
Yeah,
that's the only thing they can do.
They really need to, basically, like, extremely kind of, they really need to swing a fight right now or just go again.
Portal again. Frostball's going for portal play again for the boss.
And he needs to. They're going to regroup.
That's the only thing
Syndrinner is already on the move to go in. Frostball's going to show up, and he's going to put that portal down. Everybody will be going into it.
Double Lord Rush!
We're seeing
Which
a rush.
boss
They
do you
still
want?
Take down the door, though. They're going to lose that.
I think so. This is a mistake. This could be a possible mistake. But no, both at the same time. I'm on Red Lord. Red Lord is down to 50% HP. Time Warp is going to win it.
Red Lord.
Time Lord
out completely. That was a huge error. I think they didn't think that the portal was going to come out that quickly, but
wow.
I mean, they needed to take down the door. They had the soldiers up. They had the casters up. I mean, everything. There was no way that they were going to win that race. At least in my opinion, that would have been a good idea at all.
I'm so surprised.
Yeah, despite that, we are going to see a 1-1 happen. We're going to go into Game 3 Battle Kylo here.
But, oh my good God, the chat. There you go, look. You got some love from EU to you, Kthx, at the moment. Happy birthday. Good stuff, good stuff. Do you want to tell everyone how old you were?
I'm 37 now.
You're 37? You're looking great for 37.
Yeah,
not
dude,
that you're
well.
supposed to
I'm doing
look.
well. It's all those, like, you know, those copper and lead, like arm bracelets and stuff.
Yeah.
It's all on that, man. That's what what it comes down to. Yeah, and then just wearing like Nike products all the time. That's pretty much what it comes down to.
Ah, so you go for fitness products.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Bracelets. Those protein shakes. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. It looks good. You're looking good, man. 37 Kthx today. Last Sunday, sorry. Oh, you're older than me, man. How does it feel?
Barely.
Rift. Almost said. Almost the F-bomb. Almost came out. It's not quite there. No, not 57. I was gonna say if that's 57. That's awesome. Yeah, I got into esports at a very late stage in my life. If I got into it when most people, the age that most people are watching today, I probably would have been like right up with like Quake and.
Yeah, that's another thing. I think having a neck beard also kind of keeps things really. You really look young with it. That's why I've maintained the neck beard for so long. Like basically,
beards make you look young.
No, just the neck portion. Like I shave it all off of my face and the mustache. I get rid of all that as often as possible and just keep as much as I can on the neck because it really does euthanize you. Not that's not a good word. Not
wow. Who's doing that?
Oh boy.
That wasn't that bad.
Maybe it should. Maybe it should with how bad neckbeards are. But that was not the word I was looking for.
Euthanize. No, it's not even the word either.
No, that isn't. No, that is a word. It's just.
It's not that word. No,
I know
what you mean.
I was looking for.
No. Game 3 between TCG and oRNG Logo, everyone. The ESL Go4GW2 Cup, number 43. There's no such thing as awkward as we go into the final game of today's cup, which may have gone to epic lengths. I'm going to go through the final splits today as we see oRNG Logo coming out on the south side, of course. Rom going to go for that. He's going to go for the close point here, actually. Sustaining potentially a real big push coming out from TCG. Maybe a far point push. Not too sure. Let's have a look at Helsef and his position here. They're going to go for it. Rom might get it completely blown up here. They must be expecting it since they don't know where they are. Oh! Updraft! And the combination. The nice fear! Blocks everything that comes out from TCG there. Is Rom going to be able to get away from this? That's pretty beastly. That fear.
We saw the exact same thing happen on the other side of things over at Courtyard, though, where Turnia got bursted, and oh, we're seeing Rom actually accept that portal. They managed to get Courtyard. Rom's going to go probably back through it, maybe. Actually, it does not look like that's. Oh, he does actually go through it. He's going to go back over, maybe get a 1v1 over on Articuno, but.
Yeah, I think he realizes that probably wasn't the best thing to do, unfortunately, because they did in the end lose that node. I think he was just thinking about sustain. Now, he does saw 2 onto that midpoint now as well, and just charges onto the node. Does a good job. Actually, just go into Rom's perspective here. He's running the same builds. Just thought he might have changed it up then, actually. But he hasn't. We've seen the 1 cap coming in for TCG here. Sustain 1v1 over on the windmill point as well, of course. But Articuno, very low himself as he starts to get some damage with Great Sword from Frostball, of course. He's going to do a good job of coming out, but Syndrome hot on his tail is going to try and take him out here as well. I guess he in the end, the stealth again comes out from Helseth with the mass invis, which really has carried so many of these fights. It's a really, really good elite for the Elementalists, to be fair.
Yeah, I have to absolutely agree. We're seeing actually pretty much both teams looking solid on health bars. I mean, for the most part, team fight has been very support-based. Everybody kind of staying alive for quite some time here. Kthx Bye going to be taking some pressure very soon here. Rom on point right now, but it looks like everybody did actually ditch this, so this is going to be stalemated. Rom's going to be able to hold this for quite some time. Looks like perhaps we're going to be seeing Frostball drop some damage. Eternia right now, though, taking some pressure over on the windmill here, where this is kind of like a big fight happening on this right now. Eternia at about 40% HP. Curve taking a little bit of pressure as well, as those two are basically vying for this point control, and Eternia actually does get dropped, and the SR does come out.
Pull mid though.
Saving. Oh, Trebax actually gets taken out as well. Oh boy, and Kthx Bye as well. This is a huge turn of events. We're going to be seeing actually Kthx Bye stay on the point. Not really sure what that was about. He could have.
Yeah, mid. I mean, we've had. I mean,
oh, Trebax! Look at this. Trebax
no way again! But Rom knows where they are.
Actually get rezzed up. Rom with not enough.
He's trying so hard.
Oh boy, this is going to be a 2v1. I mean, Kthx Bye is kind of low. Trebax is at a 50%.
Look at Tage though.
Rom though.
Tage is coming in. He's ready to go in for that burst. He's waiting for maybe Trebex. If he's seen him, surely. Yeah, he goes for it. He goes for the burst onto Trebex there. Gets the burn off. But not able to get as much damage maybe off as he wanted to. Trebex gets out of there. And actually, I'm so surprised that oRNG Logo survived that pretty well. I feel maybe that portal to mid from Helseth was maybe a tiny bit early when they moved. I mean, and also
Eternia absolutely deleted here. Kthx Bye going to go for the res. Doesn't look. Ooh, the knockback actually from Frostball.
Are they going to get this? Shadow Refuge from Syndrome. Stealth as well. Portal. There's so many things coming out here on this point to try and get Eternia back up, and he gets back up as well. There's nothing they can do about that. They can just hold the nodes, and that's what they're doing. oRNG Logo just playing for the 2 cap at the moment, and so are TCG. They're not playing. They're playing a little bit for mid. They're poking their heads in and out where they've got that portal, and really, when your verse is another portal, a Mesmer as well yourself as TCG are. They've got to think about the extra fact that, you know, that Frostball's pretty much placing. Look at these portals. They're literally right next to each other. So the counters are coming out, and even Ron moves back over to that point now, so Sustain versus Helseth. But he gets the decap there.
Yeah, right now we're seeing a little bit of a 2v, or actually a 1v1 Rom versus Helseth over on the windmill here. Helseth trying to put some damage onto Rom, but Rom pretty much accepting most of it in turn. Tage coming through though, so Helseth needs to be careful. Does accept 3 burn stacks, but that's not going to be enough to kill him, of course. Eternia going to be rolling into the point as well. So this is going to be a 2v2 here, probably in favor of Tage as well as Rom here, especially with Helseth just absolutely leaving it. It looks like he's going to be going for Curve, who's on Clock Tower here. Doesn't line up the burst quite yet, just knocks him off the point. Oh. Everything is decapped right now, everything neutralized. We're at 5 minutes in. This is actually, I believe, I can't even remember because it feels like 40 minutes ago we were actually loading this map up. But I feel like I said 5 minutes into the match we're going to still have low points, and that actually is the case. Helseth right now very low. Cinch-Rinner absolutely murders him there. I'm not sure if everybody's able to see that on the stream because I think we're streaming via Game Boy Color right now, but absolutely murdered him there. Cinch-Rinner going to finish that one off. So that's going to be Helseth down and out right now. Articuno in a similar state though. Vambrune saving him for the time being. Does have most of those water cooldowns for heals here. Cinch-Rinner and Frostball going to follow him up though. Maybe make that a kill.
Yeah, indeed. As we are. Oh, Articuno goes into the down state as well. Good job. He's just going to Vapor Form away here, but they are going to get their kill in the end, and they will pick up that windmill point. Now, we are seeing random pickups from oRNG Logo, probably more so than TCG, which is really putting them ahead. They're almost 100 points ahead now, and oRNG Logo again grabbing the 2 cap. Now, I mean, oRNG Logo win this map not a lot, but versus TCG, most of the time, it'd give it something kind of to TCG, but playing versus that Mesmer as well, you know, Frostball, his portal plays now are really helping them out in terms of negating Hellseth's movement as well. And the free Ellie comp, not able to sustain as well as you would have thought, guys. So we've got the free Ellie comp versus the one Ellie over on Orange Logo here, and it's one apiece. But the game is definitely not over. But the problem is that we have got that decap and full cap over on the mansion. Whether or not that was useful in the end, we're not sure, because Articuno picks up the windmill and Syndranir is about to be pushed by two members of TCG here.
Yeah, Hellseth in kind of a defensive state right now. Looks like he's gonna maybe make a move over towards that midpoint. But I mean, oRNG just has so much control over the map. Rom basically making Clock Tower his homeland right now, and just holding it for so long right now. And we're seeing Articuno on the point as well, and they haven't even really made a dent into Rom at all here. He's at about 80% HP. Doesn't have much of his cooldowns though, so they could potentially burst him at this stage. There's not a whole lot for him to do. The block's out. Doesn't have any of his shots for another 3 seconds, but doesn't look like that's going to be the case, as Frostball has moved in and provided some counter pressure. However, on the other side of things, Curve right now at about 30% HP does force him off the point. We are seeing TCG cap out Clock Tower, and they actually have a good amount of control elsewhere. We did just see Syndranir cap out Windmill though in the meantime, so this is the 1-to-1 cap. They still have 285 points here with 7.5 minutes left, so looking pretty solid for oRNG, and if they can swing this fight here, that would probably solidify it. However, we are going to be seeing a portal come out from TCG, so ooh, a counter portal actually coming out as well. Again. Curve and Frostball going to go through it, and I believe Tage is actually through it as well. And they're going to try to drop Articuno, but Blackjack just taking so much of this pressure. He's still at 75% HP, 50% now, but able to accept so much of that right out of the gate.
Yeah, I mean, Articuno still quite low himself. Does try to get away here, able to regenerate himself as well. And yeah, guys, at the moment, like, it's probably about 35 to 40 degrees in this room, which is why my PC is running a little bit slow for Guild Wars 2. The stream, there is no problem in terms of the speed and whatnot, so it's been going for quite a while now. It's 3.5 hours in this heat, so that's probably why it's looking a little bit shaky, but it's not too bad. There's no actual lag, it's just a little bit of FPS issue. And there will be obviously a recording of this, but that doesn't matter for now. We have seen the one cap coming back for TCG, 6.5 minutes left on the map as well. Tage low HP, although he's trying to
back going with that oh, he missed the he missed the trebuchet entirely, hit the roof there. Unfortunate for them, actually.
Angled wrong there, yeah.
But did manage to put the pressure out to put Curve low. Was able to put the pressure out for Tage to get dropped as well. And Syndranir going to be going for that res, actually. So Tage is going to be back up and into it. And they still have control of that mansion. In the meantime, they're going to be closing up on 300 points here. Just under 6 minutes left in this matchup. Looking pretty solid. Hellseth right now at about 10% HP. Frostball was taken down, though. Going to have to see if Frostball is going to be able to get back up. Trebek's is the only one nearby, though, so that's probably going to be him finished off. Hellseth going back over to the midpoint right now, where he's going to try to open up Curve. Curve going to accept it, and right now we're going to be seeing Syndranir. Oh, Syndranir going to go for the res, perhaps. However, Trebek's is far too close there, and he's going to be able to turn that one. Syndranir not going to be able to manage that one.
Indeed. I mean, this is, at the moment, this is Orange Logo's game. I mean, we've got the 2K coming out. We've got contestation going on for TCG over at midpoint and also on the mansion as well. But Rom versus the Elementalist does get updrafted up off point, actually. Only has 1 or 2 ticks left as Rom, when that cooldown comes back out, might have to... TXP's going to leave it. He might, because of Frostball, they know the respawns are coming out. He doesn't want to die, and that's going to be their last opportunity to come back into this game. Let's have a look again over at the windmill. Trebek's is just trying to hold that node in the 1v1 versus Syndranir, but we do have that portal over there should they need to defend it. Hellseth does have that portal back up as well, pulls out Distortion as well as the Massive Viz to get that survival back. Maybe trying to +1 over on the windmill to kill Syndranir so they can put actual more pressure on the map and get the decaps. They need that to happen, but the thing is, the opposite has happened. They've got the decap on windmill, and Syndranir survives that. We actually see the advance hit from Frostball. Frostball comes in for the counter damage onto Trebek's and also to Hellseth. Hellseth picks up a nice stealth move there, but Trebek's in the end does get absolutely destroyed, and no res potentially coming out for him. He's very close to being res here. It's just a sliver. Finishes himself off with a self-res and just bursts onto Syndranir. Trebek surviving like a boss and comes out with the answer to what they need to potentially come back into this game. But 4 minutes left. They do have a lead of about 170 points here. They need to try and come back into this game. With Tage almost down as well, it's a slight possibility at the moment.
Yeah, right now with only just under 4 minutes, I mean, they made a decent amount of headway here in locking down this TCG team and basically just controlling this stuff right now. I mean, if we look over at the windmill here, we're seeing Frostball basically in a 1v2, does manage to get out for the time being, but still getting pressured so much right now between Trebek and Hellset. They're going to basically just leave the point for the time being, though. In the meantime, Articuno was stomped out, and that's going to be 5v4 in favor of this oRNG team. They're going to be able to move around. Curve now going for that mansion cap, is going to be able to cap it out. Courtyard still in favor of this blue team orange logo here. Rom on the note, of course. Tage there as well to provide some damage, and if he's able to put down that Purging Flames and does actually do it there, then he's going to be able to pretty much clean up on Eternia, who does accept so much burn stacks there, and then that gets followed out completely. It looks like Eternia was able to survive that, however, and Frostball is the only one really kind of near enough. We are seeing a little bit of some tread play coming out from Blackjack here, who's trying to put it down onto the node. But, you know, with the points being so far in favor of Orange Logo, we're actually seeing GG comes out from Hellset there. We're going to be seeing some GG, so that's going to be solidifying it with that decap that happened over on the windmill. That's going to be the game for sure.
So, Orange Logo have defeated TCG in this final of the ESL Go4GW2 Cup, number 43. A fantastic day of games as well. GG final. That is the end of things. They felt they couldn't come back into that. It's a pretty horrible time to come back into a game map where you can't get any extra points on the board other than trying to map dominate. And really, in that situation, it was Orange Logo who had complete control over that map, of course. So, that's it. We're not going to do too much of an outro because Kthx has got a cast again in a bit.